Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. Look at all of your digital, non-existent faces in the chat. Welcome, one and all. Whether you are tuning into this for the first or 300th or 5-yearth time, we are Transplanar RPG. We are an odd transgender, people of color led, dark fantasy, actual play channel, telling stories set in an original non-colonial, anti-orientalist multiverse. This means that we are against genocide and ethnic cleansing and support all oppressed peoples of this world struggling against injustice, imperialism, and colonization. We must use our voices to build solidarity and fight for the worlds that we wish to see. So to that end, free Sudan, free DRC, free Palestine, and free all oppressed peoples of this world. Thank you all so much for showing up to support our story. And if you are watching this right now, then you are witnessing the kickoff stream to our 5-year Channelversary month. Let's make some noise in chat. Hit that hype sing button. Blah, 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 blah. Air horns going off. But before we plow right into what the heck is happening this month, because it is jam-packed with incredible events and activities, please allow me the very special, distinguished honor of reintroducing for the first time in forever, Erica!
It's me, it's Erica. Hi everybody. God, this has been a long while since I've had to do this. Me and Connie were just talking about this before we went live. But hi, I'm Erica, she, her pronouns. If you've listened to The Second Stranger, I played V. I don't know where you're at in the Second Stranger, so I'll leave it at just V, Nox Scherzo. And yeah, I have been not on this for a while, but I've been keeping up with the Chaos Protocol, which has been awesome. So yeah, I'm so excited to be here. I do stream on Twitch at Erica Please, that's PLZ, where I do everything from speedrunning Resident Evil 7 for the millionth time, doing art, I've been picking up 3D modeling skills, or just being a general hijinks nuisance clown on the internet. So super excited to be here, and with that I'm just going to throw this ball back to Connie.
And I'm going to catch this ball, and I'm going to hold it as I do my next set of announcements. Everyone go follow Erica on Twitch. I just gave her a shout out over there. Let's join me in following her because she does some really excellent stuff. And Erica, your stuff on Blender is like looking really freaking good. Like I can't believe you just picked it up recently. Like it looks incredible.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really, really dope. But yes, this is our kickoff stream to our entire Channelversary month. You might be thinking, what the heck is a Channelversary month? I'm glad you asked, person in the chat that I'm making up. It's been 5 years since we started streaming on Twitch. 5 years, half a decade. Technically, as of the end of June, it will be 5 years, but it's still a huge milestone. And to celebrate that, we are doing deep celebrations of each different main campaign series for each week of June. So this first week, which we are currently in, is our first main campaign ever, The Second Stranger, our original main campaign that follows 4 heroes chosen by fate and 4 heroes who choose their own destinies as they must come together and rebuild a world full of broken heroes and broken gods. It is an epic journey about grief and the power of queer love. It spans 8 arcs and it eventually has 8 cast members. Tonight, Erica is available to join me for the rerun of the premiere stream because, you know us, we're always so busy. And we might have a couple other cast members trickling in throughout tonight, coming in. And in that case, I will be putting them up down here in this little low bar. As you can tell, I'm producing this. I'm not sitting in my usual place. I'm sitting at C's desk. So if any production hiccups happen, that's because of me. It's not because of C. C isn't here. It's just me. There's no God here. Look at me. It's just me. There's no C to rein me in or reel me back. It's just Erica. And the two of us are going to feed off of each other's.
Oh, yeah. Just debauchery by the end of this one. Let's.
Absolute clownery. 100%. But yes, so each week is going to feature a different show, and each week is also going to raise funds for a different charity. For this week, we are raising funds for Dee Dee's House, which is a transitional housing program for queer and non-binary folk, specifically with a focus on Black and brown trans women. So you can use !donate in chat to toss some funds toward Dee Dee's house, and we're gonna see that counter go up. Hopefully, I'd love for us to hit our $250 goal by the end of this week. Speaking of which, every Wednesday of June, we are going to be doing a special director's cut rerun of the premiere of each show that we are celebrating. And every Saturday, we are producing a very special stream, whether it's an actual play, a community stream night with trivia night, or perhaps even a play test of a multiplayer world building version of God Killer. But as for the Saturday stream for the second Stranger week, it is going to be a Hounds reunion one-shot called The Hounds of Mercy versus Andake's Biggest Hole, as the Hounds of Mercy must go find their once again missing boss Mercy, who perhaps is in the worst place to go missing now, the Euclid Chasm, Andake's Biggest Hole. If that wasn't enough, we are also releasing themed prompts every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday of every single week this month. Each themed prompt is about a different show and is featured in a pairing. And we already have released 2 sets of theme prompts this week. To know what all of the theme prompts are, use !zine, because as you may have ascertained from that, all of the fan works created this month and any other past fan work that doesn't even necessarily have to do anything with any of these theme prompts will be eligible for you, if you would like to voluntarily submit to our Translator Channelversary zine, which we are hoping to put together after the end of this month and releasing digitally and or in a limited edition print run. Any and all funds raised from this zine, which will at the very least be published on my itch page, will go directly toward mutual aid, liberation, and charity efforts. So if you'd like to be a part of that and show the TTRPG ecosystem as a whole how awesome our fan community is, how generous we are, and how queer we are, please consider submitting to the zine, and further information can be found in that zine link. Finally, as part of this month-long celebration, we are also attempting to push for Twitch Partner. So anything you can do to shout about our show, to help give to any of these charity initiatives if you can, to make some work for the fanzine, to show up to any of these streams, every little bit helps. Every little bit counts, because I'm going to be gathering all this composite data from June and submitting it to Twitch and going, isn't our community great? Don't we deserve that purple check mark? Wouldn't that be awesome? Please look at us. Please give us partner. And I just think that that would be an incredible way to cap off our 5-year channelversary. So before we get into the rerun itself, this is when I ask you to exercise some patience with me, as I'm going to cross-post some of these announcements to our YouTube, because I am the only one modding. I'm the only one modding tonight, and I am double-fisting obligations.
And with that, I will take over while Connie cross posts, because I feel like I can just hear C's voice in my head. Connie, what with the double fisting? Come on. I've recently also journeyed into the streaming from YouTube, and it is a wild, wild west of a world that can be a little wild bouncing back and forth on. But
yeah, it is, because I feel like the ecosystems on Twitch and YouTube are very different, but lovely in their own way. You know, we have some overlap, but not too much, and I always want folks to feel attended to. There we go. Okay, I just cross-posted our commands to the YouTube, so if you're in the YouTube chat, feel free to click on those links. If you're ever lost and need a reminder of what the events are, when they are, what's happening, join our Discord server and or go to our Blue Sky social media account at transplanetRPG.bluesky.social. That is where we have in our pinned post a full itinerary of every schedule item. We also have a free post up on our Patreon with an entire list of the entire month's themed prompts. So you can just join as a free member. You don't have to pay us anything, and you can have access to that Patreon post. And that is patreon.com/transplanetRPG. But now I can just hear, again, like Erica, I can hear C's voice in my head being like, move it along, move it along. So I'm going to move it along. I'm going to move it along.
Perfect.
Full disclosure for the rerun for tonight, Transplanter RPG does deal with content that may be triggering for some viewers. So content warnings for this second Stranger rewatch stream may include fantasy violence, blood, gore, body horror, explosions, monsters and monstrosity, crude sexual and toilet humor, food and eating, child endangerment, complex relationships, romance, apocalypse, detailed descriptions of pregnancy and childbirth, and panic attacks, and references to alcohol and substance use, and storms. So that's a lot, because we were going pretty hard in the sauce in Arc 1, Episode 1. I'm going to take some time to repost that to YouTube right now, because that's very important to have all of that context. Okay, there. Now it is on our YouTube. Full disclosure, because this stream, as you can kind of tell in the preview, is like 3.5 hours long, and I don't think we took a break during our pilot stream. There are some parts of the stream that I might just kind of skip over for time's sake. But other than that, we're gonna get started. All right.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's do this. It's gonna be so funny if we get interrupted with an ad break on our own channel.
We did get a few comments in chat about our mic levels being uneven, that you were quieter than me by a bit. Did you see that?
Okay, I've turned it up a little bit. Is that better? Let me...
Hello, everybody. I think we're live. Hey. I think it's working. Hey.
Hello.
What's good? What's Gucci? OMG, this is so exciting. Wow, I'm super nervous.
We're here.
But also so excited. We're here. We're queered. We're not going anywhere. Woo! So how about that waiting room music, huh? Wasn't it awesome? That's by CIS on SoundCloud. Give him a follow.
God.
Check him out. He's great. Yeah, without any more preamble, let's get right into introductions. So first of all, it's so awesome to see everyone in chat. This is such an overwhelming response. I know some of y'all know me in person, in real life, which is just crazy to think about. Don't judge me. But I'm also so excited to share something that we've all been working on tirelessly for the past,
I know, this was such a lifetime ago.
With everyone. So, yeah, that's gonna be a thing. I guess I'll get started by introducing myself. My name is Connie. I am the GM.
Yeah.
I am also the main producer.
People should know that, I was the only person who knew how to stream when we started this campaign, and it was teaching as much as we could to embrace a lot of technical elements, and we weren't even doing it as efficiently as we could at the time. So this is so much going on.
Yeah, definitely.
This lovely group of players here in session 1, our pilot episode. Thank you for the
We literally had no idea what we were doing. This is my first time running a stream at all, much less an actual play.
To Devin, who's top right of the overlay, I believe. Thank you, Heidi Pants, for following. So Devin,
the classic the trans name changes, right? And the trans voice changes too.
Great.
Hi. My name's Devin. I use they, them, theirs pronouns.
Oh, so we had alert sounds on for the...
We literally had alert sounds throughout the entire first stream.
Thank you for the donation.
Yeah, when we were still bouncing, do
Is this better, mic levels wise? Just let me know, chat.
Fighter. Yeah.
And
I'll pass
fun
it on
fact, that sheet behind me is literally
Erica,
a bed
who's
sheet.
below me.
I
Excellent.
literally
Hi everybody, I'm
Asian,
Erica. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch as well. I do see some folks from my Twitch. If you go up here, this is all my socials. I'm Erica New Girl. Everywhere you can possibly look me up that I exist.
What is up with your mic?
And I use she, her pronouns. I'm a white, queer, trans woman. And in terms of my character,
the mic I had at this time was so basic, and I didn't know anything about mic placement. And
con artist streak.
I think that's the thing that always gets me in listening to these first episodes, is how much I've learned about microphones since this first episode.
I'm going to continue the circle by going this way to
USB
Max.
mic. And this is a blast of the past because this
Hello,
mic
I'm Max. I go by they them pronouns.
Testing. How about now? Is it still kind of quiet?
And I'm playing...
Oh my god, Max's voice is so different.
I'm a trans mask.
Oh yeah.
Still very quiet. Jesus. I think the same thing is happening to me that was happening to Val's mic.
I'm playing Dee Dee Quirk. He's an Aarakocra Ranger, and...
Yeah, I think I need to use it differently. Yeah.
He's 2.5 feet shorter than Devin's character, Manaya.
Now that this video's playing, you sound much quieter than...
Cool.
I think Max's voice drops
C.
2 octaves by the end of this campaign.
I am a white dance theater artist person.
Let's see.
I am playing Oka.
Again,
A
I
blood
don't
hunter
produce on this.
Aasimar with double pupils.
And C using the
and this is Cricket,
the
my
microphone
roommate's
on
cat,
the
who also loves to
earbuds.
play D&D. She's a menace to society.
She is indeed a menace to
Cricket.
society. You might see her like
I
clawing
I hear
clawing at
C
C
thundering down the
intermittently.
steps.
And great, I
Dun,
think
dun,
that's
dun,
on
dun,
to
dun,
the
dun,
intros. So without further ado, I suppose
Hi,
we can get
C.
right into the meat of why we're all here,
I did.
right?
I think the same thing's
This
happening.
very session
Oh, fascinating.
itself.
Okay.
Right, let's get
So
right
while
into
they're
it.
working on that,
Before we
I
get
do
started,
want to
I would
also like
to
point out
acknowledge
like
and give
we
credit
were
to the
planning
title
on
of the
streaming the
session.
second Stranger
Season
in
9
person.
with the first labor pains. Suddenly, the sun goes pale.
How's that sound?
Is by poet
Or
Yosano
am I
Akiko
not
from her
doing
poem
anything
Labor
at all?
Pain.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3,
get
1, 2,
right
3.
Still so quiet.
Everything is a problem.
Everything is awesome.
Woe is me. Woe is me.
But yeah, like
Blessed
we were gonna do this in
be the
person,
dull.
and then
For they have
COVID
no
hit, and we
mind
had to figure out how to
doubt.
make this like this instead.
Blessed be the cruel, for they have
the
no
first
heart
poetic
to vow.
monologue.
Oh my god, look at
Blessed
this opening
be the
monologue.
weak, for they have
Like,
no
we're right into the
teeth
opening
to
monologue with
gouge.
Texas who's here.
And blessed be the empty, for we have no
video is
soul
also really loud.
to shroud.
I turned it down, yeah. I turned the video sound down, yeah.
A young woman travels through a darkened grove, her brown skin streaked with blood and tears. She passes by a pond. She sees herself. She takes out a knife and
What
cuts
if
off
I
her
did
hair.
this? Testing,
They
testing,
are
1, 2,
no
3, 1, 2,
longer
3,
a
1, 2, 3.
woman. And Aarakocra
too loud?
swaddles a newborn between
Testing,
his
testing?
wings.
Good? Is
The
this good?
child
Better?
is
Okay,
not
yeah. We're like
his.
hard
The
increasing the gain
child
on
is
OBS.
his. He
Testing,
coos
testing.
softly to it.
Okay, only a
Rain
bit better. I'm gonna go
pounds
up.
against
Testing,
the tin
testing.
Roof. An elf
Is this much better? Because we're adding
slumbers in the
20
sheep bed
pounds of
a
gain.
cheaper
Okay.
tavern.
That's way better?
Man
Okay,
holds
great.
her.
Okay.
She is dreaming about him. He is not
There, we're
dreaming about her.
Opening captions
A
on
young
YouTube too.
half-orc
they're
stands
not-
at the
they're
end of a
They are
dock,
auto-generated.
looking
Sadly,
out
for our
over the
pilot
ocean.
episode, we didn't know about
She
Google
has
Meets,
been
and we were
waiting.
unaware of captions as
She
a
is waiting.
concept at all.
Okay, I'll
actually.
be back here soon. Bye.
Thank you, Siri. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Siri.
it. Wait, Kitty, turn on. I'm sweating my butt off.
Dewey,
Kitty, turn
Dee,
on.
and of
Okay, I'm
course,
blowing out just a little,
Manaya.
but that's okay.
The year right now is 4:05 AT, and it is
Okay, I think this
currently
is okay.
6 o'clock in the evening.
Just let me know if I'm blowing out,
on
if the mic is
Bear's
blowing out.
End,
All right,
the
thank
last
you,
day
C, I
of last month.
Okay. All right, perfect.
Everyone in
Back to this.
Edake is busy celebrating Adolin.
Nope,
the
no
New
blowing out. Okay,
Year's
just let me know if I'm
Eve
blowing
holiday,
out. All right,
where it
folks.
is said that the veils
Perfect.
between the now, the after, and the
beyond grow thin.
allowing the
Remember
eight
this?
to more easily hear
There
and
was so
see
much
our
references
praise.
that like, oh,
Everyone
I know what
in
that was
Ndake
referencing
is
now.
frankly getting shit-faced right now. Everyone, that is, except the four of you. Dalapathi Saeed
Oh my god,
is a
Dalapathi.
tiefling of many talents. A retired adventurer
taking
at the
notes on my
spry
iPad
young
at the
age
time.
of 43 years
Oh, you were?
old. Dalapathi's
Back when
Wait,
like
look at
I had
you,
to
you're
like
so
write down
beautiful.
everything
and V,
because I knew Connie was gonna be that kind of DM.
you were
Yes.
told to find
Yes,
him.
I was like really puzzle and mystery focused for like the first few
Trenchfoot
arcs, and then I got like
is the name
obviously we
of
still
one
had
of your many
mysteries,
criminal
but then I
contacts.
really started focusing
a
on like the
shifty
narrative
lizard
part.
folk woman who met you in Rima, a trade city on the eastern edge
Good
of
old
the
Trenchfoot.
championship of Nabal that rides
It's so funny, we
the
never
heavily
ended up
guarded
exploring Rima at
Tulungen
all.
border. Trenchfoot sits on one end of a park bench. You sit on the other.
Yeah, that's
Each
true.
of
The
you
revelation of
pretends to be a news
Dalapathis,
scroll.
not Dalapathi, Dalapathi's
Then
true
Trenchfoot
lore.
speaks.
It's really funny. Also, folks, let me know if the video stream is
Paragon
too quiet
War
now, if I overcorrected.
Had many actors.
The Paragon War!
And
I opened
you
with it! I
recognize
opened with
this
you
phrase
y'all
as the
had no
first
idea what the
half
Paragons
of a
were.
Yeah,
frequently
that's just it.
updated
No
code.
idea.
You're asking me for like the code
I
response.
like
I'm
literally
like,
asked you to
criminal
improvise this,
is
and
still
what you
holding this.
improvised,
You know the
like,
response, which
is-
is
it actually fits.
But the sun is still shining on the horizon.
based on how Arc
Trenchfoot
8
glances
ends.
at you briefly over her new scroll
Oh my
and
god,
looks
that's
back
just
at
like
it
one of
and
those
says,
like poetic
"Listen,
syzygy moments, you know?
No,
Yeah,
don't
complete
look at me.
accident.
Don't draw
I had
attention
no
to us,
idea what was
just
going.
Listen, I have
Erica had no idea, it was
good
just the
authority
intuition.
that the vault of Banwo isn't just a legend.
Oh my god, and you ended up going to the Vault of Fun. Whoa.
Well, I mean, honestly, friend, in our world, we deal with a lot of mistruths. We deal with a lot of misdirection. So I'm going to need something a little more solid than you believe. Perhaps a legend is true. What sort of sources do you have?
My sources are valid, and they've given me a name of someone who apparently holds the map.
Very interesting question from Indie Wanderer. How much of the narrative did you have planned by this first episode? How much of the narrative pivoted over time?
A guy who knows a guy who knows
a guy who knows. I like specifically dragged out the S's for like a serpentine. I was like so excited about Trenchfoot's voice for some reason.
I'll get a crew together.
But in terms of the first, in terms of the narrative,
how does that sound, V?
I have mentioned this before on stream.
You know me.
I love
so
planning
does
from
one
the
find
end. So I kind of always knew about Dr. Lusso. I always knew about the Paragons. I always knew about the second Stranger's arrival. Even though during this pilot episode, we didn't have a name for our first campaign until like arc 4 or something.
Where we see Dewey.
These were like the big picture things that I knew because they all pertain to antagonists, right? NPCs that I had long-term goals for, who had like specific motives and specific ways of enacting those goals, right? How Adam and Lilith and all these characters got folded in. And a lot of the detailing we like discovered together on the way. Like I planned arc by arc, or I let like the characters, the PC's decisions influence how it played out. And so, you know, it's a really big melding of planning and character agency.
Look,
Yeah.
Cardi, do you know
We
what
also
the
had
day
a
is?
couple of session zeros where, I mean, our first session zero was like
That's true.
so
We'll roll for it.
just like
Because you're our
dreaming on a
inventor.
wall of what
Okay,
we wanted
well,
this
look,
campaign to
you're
maybe
the
be
fella
before we got
guy
into
is
more
the one who
specifics.
holds the patent
And
to a
I
banana.
gotta say,
He holds
Connie
the
knocked it out of the
patent,
park when I think
patent.
about
He holds the
everything that
patent for way
happens
more things than
in
just
the 8
bidet.
arcs.
He's
Like
one of the most
this
famous
little thing
inventors
someone
of
mentioned, this little thing, like Connie
ever.
just wrestled
Honestly,
a bunch of
I'm kinda surprised you haven't
little
heard of
cool
it before.
ideas into the arc.
No, I've been buried
All 8
under,
arcs.
Been living under a rock.
Yeah, we had like
she
we had
takes
that
a
like
long
vision
sip of her
session
milk
0,
tea and
and it was really important to me to like weave everyone's desires from that vision session into the campaign. Like you all mentioned that you wanted to be working for something that had maybe like dubious motives or like a character that was like, and that became Dr. Lusso. You know, that became that became Equilibrium, Equilibrium and Guidance Group.
Watch.
That moment in arc 8 where where like the universes are like collapsing on each other. We actually discussed something like that.
Anyone can get rid of that nasty
But then
little sugar on
you
your
took
wrist.
the seed and just made it so much cooler.
All right?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, it was everyone's like ideas coming together, and I like had the very fun opportunity to like braid all of the ideas together into like an ultra plot. So all these disparate threads that seemed unrelated at first, like I wanted them to all actually come together in the end. Because I love it when media does that.
Sorry about that, by
Yeah.
the way.
Oh, the first bow bow.
This is my way of making amends, okay? My way of making it up to you.
Interruption.
Find Dalapapa.
Yeah.
He'll help you. I know he
Papa. And Dake's namesake. Exactly, because Andake is from Anda and Kua, which two different languages put together to mean eggshell. And egg, too. There was a bunch of egg, specifically pregnancy, birth, egg motifs, because that was what I wanted the second cataclysm.
mercy.
Or rather, after, the second cataclysm, after the cataclysm at the end of this episode, to be. I wanted it to be. I had this idea that, like, this. Also, yes, there are going to be huge spoilers during this for the entirety of the second Stranger. I'm so sorry I didn't mention that up top. There's going to be huge spoilers for the entirety of the show in our commentary and in the pilot.
Never met the
But my original plan for the Stranger's arrival is that it would be at the depths of the Euclid Chasm, and then like a world-sized monster would erupt from it, and it would be like the child of the second Stranger. And if it awoke, if it like fully woke up and then like became, then it would literally rip Andake apart as it like burst forth from this egg, right? And that's why the Chrysalis referred to the Stranger as mother. Like I wanted there to be mother-child motifs. Can you tell that I've got mommy issues and I'm working them out through my art? Continuously. But then a big reason why I, and that's what the weird ripples were, Erica. Like the weird oscillations that Dr. Lusso was tracking. It was the child, quote unquote, kicking. Those were supposed to be like kicks. That's why they were like so consistent and they were like becoming more and more frequent because it was ready to like hatch basically. But because we ended up like discovering new safety boundaries, I believe one of them was like harm to children or like child
that
things,
sounds
like child-related things, I decided,
sounds real,
well,
like,
if the big bad is like basically a big monster baby, like maybe the characters
me to
would
go?
feel
I'll go.
conflicted
I
about
have
needing to
no
like attack it.
problem
So that's why I pivoted.
getting out of here. In fact,
That's
I've been
fair.
wanting to go for a while,
Mm-hmm.
actually.
And that's one thing that was like
I've been
also
wanting to
like
go for a while.
the fact in terms of our
it's good
process
that we're-
after every arc we got
Are you
together
trying
and
to
like,
break my
hey,
poor little heart,
in terms of what you want your character to like,
You don't
some of your
have
goals
one,
with your
Mercy.
character,
You
like
don't
where
have
are we
one.
I'll
at?
drink to that.
Have any of those
And
changed?
the two of you toast.
What would you like to still
over a
see?
mug of scorpion
Exactly.
water that sizzles
Yeah,
through your
it was
throat
really
like the sting
just such a
of a
collaborative effort,
insect.
and the amount of checking in
Finally,
and adjusting
last but
and working with each
certainly
other.
not
Like you
least,
said, a new
Guess
line
what?
pops up
You're
that
also
maybe
looking
we
for
didn't discuss at the
Delicati.
beginning, but now, okay,
1
well,
week
we're less
ago,
comfortable
your
with
merchant
this
ship,
particular
the
thing.
ruffled tern,
Mm-hmm.
docked
just
at
adjust.
the
We
port
fix it.
city of
We figure it out.
Solmenad on the
Absolutely,
eastern
like people's
edge of
like
the
lines of
boundary
veils are always
waters.
changing, and that's not a bad thing. Like it's
massive
totally fine.
saltwater
We like
inlet
we
which
learn and we
separates
grow, and
the
we
Republic of
like
Talmud
Erica said, we
from the
like
Port of
course correct when
Rerun.
needed.
A troublesome
Also,
storm
the
ensured
mercy.
that thorough repairs
mercy
were
bit.
required for the ruffled tern, and Captain
With Oka,
Lahahana
oh.
herself
It-
asked you to complete
it's amazing
a favor
now that
for her
some of these
while
characters
you
that we
and the
meet in
rest
this
of the crew
first little
respite in
montage.
town.
Now, for those of us who have been through the whole thing and see where they get fleshed out to, it's like,
Adolin,
yeah.
I need you to deliver a letter to an old
Oh, this
friend of mine.
lovable
The
character.
tortoise said to you
Mm-hmm.
over a plate of minced meat and parathas, which is a kind of flatbread, at the tavern.
I learned
you
so
were
much
staying
about
at
food
Solmenad.
in this
I know.
campaign.
That's actually another thing I notice is that I'm constantly describing food, and I'm constantly bringing food to sessions. Like it's such an important part of how I GM as well. Descriptions of people, really detailed descriptions of people, and really detailed descriptions of
Retired
food.
to a little farm an hour north.
Oh my god, my old person voice. A little farm an hour north. This favor. It's also weirdly the kind of voice I use for the Quee. How dare you disrespect our honesty-bound culture?
Impossible.
And then like the old voice is just you add a bit of gravel to it.
But I appreciate your comment.
Oh, throwing V into an honesty-bound cultures.
Oh,
That's a choice.
I know, and it's so funny that it was Oka that caught flack for it and not
Thank you so
V.
much, Manaya. I knew I could count on you. Here, have some more parathas. You look like you're starving. She stuffs the flatbread in your mouth.
Why did I make her
Captain,
do that?
Shush, shush, shush. You remind me of me when I was young. A lot more hair, though. And as you finish up your meal,
I don't know, sometimes like me playing NPCs, I was just fucking with you all, like for literally no reason.
None of the
Oh, I couldn't tell whatsoever.
quite know exactly what exactly Dalapati Sayid.
Exactly what? Exactly. Connie, where were you going with that?
So, each of you, from your own
This is also,
separate corners of the
this was
world,
actually live
began
before
Yeah.
we went to like recording it and having the luxury of playing. You know what? That didn't come out as smoothly as I'd like. Can I redo that line?
find this legendary
Yeah,
tiefling
this
who
is
could
all
supposedly
off the
fix all your
cuff.
problems.
Well, I prepped some things, of course, but
so
like
you hope.
a lot of things actually. I definitely over prepared for the pilot. Like I had so much stuff prepared, so many stat blocks. Back when we were still playing D&D. Ugh, D&D.
Yeah. And we got to that point in like halfway through arc 2 where like we really want to let go of this system, but we also like put so much effort into building things
To
off of this
build it,
system
yeah.
that it got real weird to try to completely forsake it.
Yeah, I'm glad we made the decision to stick with it until the end of arc 8. Like it was the right decision in my opinion. Because a lot of the D&D alternatives were not out.
Right,
2 years
yeah.
ago.
The landscape
like,
has changed
yeah,
so much.
It has,
since-
yeah, exactly.
Vast boundary waters.
It was like, well, what do we change it to? Like,
Expanse
we
of
didn't really have
salty
an
blue
answer
water
to that
your
question
west
at the time.
stands in stark contrast to the rugged plateaus
But by
and
the end,
arid
by
soil
arc
of the
8,
bad
it was like
lands all
it was
around you.
barely D&D. It was like just us doing really cool things.
Yeah, and rolling a d20 and that was like it. Yeah.
Fireroot Farm.
That's what it
of
should be.
course, The exception.
Oh my god, Fireroot
Acres and acres
Farm,
of
where it all
cacti,
begins and where it
onions,
all
carrots,
ended.
lettuce,
I'm
leeks,
so
garlic,
emotional.
Peas and beets rake the horizon in front of your eyes.
You can just
concept
see
of the end of the
the
world.
beet
A
farm.
handsome farmhouse, a barn, and a grain silo tower.
If we knew just how
built on
iconic
the
this
very
place was
edge of the cliff.
gonna become.
But before we get any further, we need to figure out who gets to the farmhouse first. Roll initiative.
Oh god, my little satisfied look when I went roll initiative to figure out who gets there first. I was like, I'm being so innovative with my use of initiative. I was so excited about that.
V got 11.
Yep.
What did Oka
I was
get?
hoping for
Got a handsome 6.
A handsome 6, a gentleman 6.
And so it begins our handsome dice.
Handsome dice.
18.
18 and Dewey?
7.
7.
I'm still not over like how much of a baby Max sounds like. Max is literally
in
a
fact,
child
I'll
in
put up a rather
this.
pathetic showing. Your guys need to do better. Manaya, you are
Don't
the
be talking down. You're like, I saw the little look that C gave me there. Like,
you're the closest. Okay?
me being so mean for no reason.
Dalapathi's farmhouse is an impressive estate. It is 3 stories tall, with multiple stables.
Oh, the
and
places
to
you'll
it
go.
bring the
Innovative
sweet
use of gameplay,
and
young
slightly
Connie.
pungent
Yeah,
smell of
that is how I
hay
feel.
and
Young
horses
Connie.
to your nostrils.
Look at me.
Red paint on this farmhouse's sturdy wooden
Man, I do look so
panels
young.
look
We all
freshly
look so
done.
young. We look like
And as
babies.
you approach, you notice colorful
Zygotes.
bunting and streamers stretched across the wooden.
I mean, I just think about what was happening,
Red paper
you know,
lanterns
in June.
hang under
It was a
the
rough month in
copper
Minneapolis.
logo of
Oh my god,
leading
yeah,
up
it
to
was
this.
a rough. Yeah, it really was. It
flames
was.
twisting around what
'Cause it's
could be the
2020.
root of a tree
Yep,
or the
mini.
horn
Yep.
of a
Yeah.
tiefling.
Because that was the.
Curtains are
Was that the year of the
curtain
uprisings?
drawn, but light
Yep.
flows
Yeah.
primarily from
Me and my
inside.
roommate lived right in the heart of that stuff, so this was like a welcome, like, distraction from life.
Well, by the flames on the, by the flames above the door, you'd think this was a Dragonborn's house.
You would.
Manaya is going to go up and knock.
Okay,
Or, yeah.
just right to business. I like it. You take a moment to take in the porch, and as you ascend the steps and raise your hand to knock, V, you pull into view of the farmhouse just in time to see the broad, strong back of this half-orc woman ascend the steps and approach
Oh, good question
the door.
from someone in
And
chat.
as you
Fumiria
gaze
Blossoms
upon
asks,
Manaya,
Are
why
there
don't
any
you
plans to
tell us,
incorporate
what
lore
does V
or
see?
mentions
What do
of
you
the
look
Second
like?
Stranger into the Chaos Protocol beyond small tidbits?
So, as I mentioned before, Manaya is 7.5
Well,
feet
a
tall,
really
very, very
important-
tall.
like world
And,
structural lore of the
you
Second
kind of see
Stranger
it
is present
to
in the
this
Chaos
side,
Protocol.
I
And
think.
here are some like mild
She has
spoilers for
dark
Chaos,
skin
though
and
this stuff is like
very,
kind of
very
set up in
long
episode
braided
1.
hair
And
with,
huge spoilers for the end of the
rings
Second
and
Stranger.
things, tied into it that she keeps
All
up
the
in a
stuff about the
bun,
precepts,
mostly
like obviously
not
that is
get in
in
the way
Chaos
of
in a really
her
big way.
doing work
All the
on
stuff
ships,
about how the
fighting,
multiverse
etc.
works with the journey.
She wears a long black trench coat that goes nearly
all
to
of
the
that is
ground,
important for Chaos.
with big black
In terms of
boots.
like Andake specific
And
things,
the only unhidden weapon
know-
you see on her is
I
a
can't
very
say
long, large,
anything
great axe strung
because
across
I don't
her
want
back,
to give
almost as
away our
tall as her.
plans.
That's
But the
saying
answer is a
something.
strong
That's a
maybe,
huge ask.
meaning a strong maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe bringing stuff
V,
in from
you
the Second
pull up
Stranger
just in
that
time to see
Stranger
this
fans might not
huge
expect,
axe-wielding
or might
half-orc woman in a
like
long
a
black
different
trench coat
take,
approach
a different
the door.
perspective
What do you do?
of people, places, things, and or events.
I
I'm
want
being as vague as
to-
possible on purpose
I want to get
from the
close
Second
enough
Stranger,
to
and or
be
that
able
the
to
Second Stranger
listen,
introduced.
but I don't want to be seen. So
But
I'd
yes,
like
there
to
are some
stealthily,
tentative
like,
plans to
find
do some
someplace nearby.
more strongly Stranger-related
Okay, cool.
Easter egg
Manaya, what's
drops,
your passive
and
perception?
beyond Easter egg drops, like actually incorporating it
It's a
into
14,
the
right?
series in some
Pretty
way.
14.
Okay,
A big
so
reason why we
you
haven't done it
roll
yet,
stealth
and
against that.
a big reason why if we do it, it will be very intentionally, is because we don't want to alienate any of our.
Okay, V.
Right, this fucking roll.
Awesome.
Sorry,
Okay,
this
V,
roll was
So why
excellent.
don't you choose how you fail?
I swear my dice
Actually,
always did
tell
this to me in
me.
the first few arcs. So.
So V is gonna like try to sneak up
First nat
to,
one.
up to the house, like around the corner, and we're gonna say there's something akin to a gopher hole. I don't know if a donkey has gopher holes, but there's a gopher hole. So her foot's gonna go into it, causing her to just completely like forward face plant. Except she manages.
I remember
in her
like you being like,
extra
I just loved how
nature
you
to, like,
took
do
this
a
nat one and
forward
ran with it.
roll, and, but
Because
then
like
she,
you set up
hits-
V in
there's,
like her
a
like
little flower
pre
bed,
like her
except it's,
prologue
you know,
scene to be like
conjunction
so
with
like
cactus, there's,
suave
it's a
and put
cactus
together.
and her face like stuff.
He's
And,
like-
and this is where dice actually got to inform the character a lot. I'd get so unlucky on the most minute little things, and then I'd get nat 20s on like the most ridiculous thing I could imagine.
Not even aware that
And the dice just backed up.
Oh my god!
So,
And she,
like, that
sees
just
what
became
happened.
V.
Did you see that?
I
Did
actually
you
love
see
that so much.
was- Unbelievable.
I do like how the dice inject like an element of randomness, an element of chaos, one might say. So it's not just like what we plan. It's not just us role playing at each other.
For your failure. Isn't that
And I think everybody in this group really, and especially as we got more castmates, like we always just embrace like whatever the dice, right or wrong, just we're gonna go for it.
Boots thundering against the ground.
I think the cast really enjoyed failure more than success by the end of the campaign.
What do you do?
I mean, because like success is great because you do what you set out for, but failure gives you the chance to like do something like
turn around, not
truly
whip around,
unexpected
but, like,
and
turn around pretty
wild.
quickly and be like, oh, Mick Saeed. Oh. Who are you?
And who is V? What does Manaya see as she very critically scrutinizes V?
So V is an elf. She is at 5'11".
And the art,
She's got
the
white
character art that
flowing hair
C drew
with a
so
wonderful
lovingly.
shaped undercut on one side. She's
Yeah,
got
I love this
Kelly
portrait of
green
all of our
eyes that seem
characters.
to glow, that match her Kelly green tie. Her clothing
the Kelly
is very
green.
meticulous. She's got a very fitted dress shirt.
It was very
with
specifically
a
Kelly
vest
green because
over it
the
that is
college
like
I
a
went
dark
to, that was our
gray and a
color, was
lighter
Kelly
gray
green.
pinstripe with like some
It's like a very
brownish
distinct
slacks.
bright green
Like a
color.
specific shade.
And then there's like this
I love it.
little
It's a very
bit of
bright
shimmer
green.
to her white skin. She's very pale, but like if you get it just the right light, her skin seems to have a green little shimmer to it, which isn't. She's not going to tell you why, so you don't get to
She's
know
not gonna
why.
tell you. I love how we've been setting up all of our
that's
characters
me.
like specific
and
plot
also
lines
she's
from the
got
very
on one
beginning.
hand, she's got a glove.
Like your stuff with
and it's
Tyrion
like a
and like your
fingerless leather
lineage and
glove
your
that
family
in the palm
history, like
is a
all of
diamond
that.
that's like sewed into the palm.
Oh yeah,
to
I
see
got.
it,
I know. I heard the
but it's
reference
like-
when you
it's
were
in there. It's
introducing
not
V
going
in the
anywhere.
poetic beginning. I knew what you were setting up
Very
there.
cool. So Manaya, you turn and you look immediately disappointed to see this elven sorceress. And as the two of you have this brief moment of reckoning, Dewey, you pull up. You part through manicured rows of beets, and you approach this farmhouse where you see a elven sorcerer. Well, you don't know that she's a sorcerer. You see a pale elf, her face inches away from a prickly cactus.
Our first pale elf. I coined that term before Baldur's Gate 3 did it with Astarion, and this is the proof. The pale elf. V is our pale elf.
And we just leaned into it.
What exactly do they
Yeah.
see? Why don't you describe Dewey to us, Max?
So Dewey is
Oh my
just
god,
under
Max's
5
voice
feet.
every time. I'm so
He is
sorry, it really
a-
gets
Yeah.
me.
Bluish gray pigeon Aarakocra.
Okay.
He's got a big pair of gold spectacles on his face. Yeah. He's got some feathers ruffled on the back of his head that he can never really get to when he's grooming.
Oh man, for some reason I'm just
he's wearing,
reminded
like,
of
Very utilitarian,
Max's
kind of dirty,
like character
cargo pants
board
and
instead of a
vest,
character sheet that
and
they had
He's
in their house.
tracking red footprints, but only one of them.
Yeah, I remember I went over,
Just on
we
that
went to Max, you know, we hung out with Max a few times, and
I love that detail.
whenever they would pull out
Why don't you take
the board.
inspiration for that?
He's also got a giant
I was
sword
like,
on his
oh my
back that
God.
looks way too heavy for
It's like literally
Interesting.
cut up character sheet pasted
so
onto a
this rather
giant board.
unassuming,
Yeah,
kind of
yep.
nerdy-looking pigeon man with a huge sword strapped across his back. And Manaya, why don't you also take
Right,
inspiration
the sword.
for your little
Sword
quip
son.
at V? I really
I
like that.
love that
So
Max
Manaya and
really.
V, the two of
I
you see
think
this
Dewey started as
bespectacled,
just a
nerdy,
ranger,
but rather domineering with this
or maybe a
huge
ranger
sword,
and artificer to
Aarakocra,
start.
pigeon-like man approach. What do the two of you do?
Aarakocra, what does it say? Aarakocra ranger. Yeah, I think in this
Yeah.
episode, Dewey is technically just a ranger because Max didn't
friend.
realize artificers were a playable class.
Apparently,
Yeah.
So picked,
we're
like-
gathering quite a party here at
So
this
like the
house.
sword was like their companion.
That
Was like
sword looks
Dewey's
very
companion or
large
something.
for you. Would
And like
would
we
you
really had to homebrew it.
killing
And I remember thinking in my head like, why isn't Max just going with artificer? You know, it's their character. Like based on the concept, like whatever. And then like it wasn't until like a few episodes in that Max was like, can I?
don't know either of
can
you,
I
but,
make this man
you know, when
a
3 or more
artificer,
people are
please?
gathered, it's a crowd. So we are. I don't even.
Yes, sword
Your
son.
name, friend, on the porch there. What is? I don't know your name.
Manaya crosses
I love
arms
the
and
amount of
says,
times where
"You're
I
all here for
am
Delacour.
trying to get
Delacour."
information with giving as little information as I can about
Oh, is
the.
that who lives here?
Yeah, I love your really
I was just
strong like
looking. I like the farm.
character-driven
It
choices.
was
I remember
very
during
lovely.
decomp and like every time we'd
to
talk
stop
about
by.
V, you discuss
so
how
that's a
like
straight up lie.
you were trying to.
because you guys don't know
That's
each other
a
yet,
straight
I
up
will
lie.
allow
How you were trying to negotiate between being deceptive,
so
but
V,
also
why don't you
like
roll deception, and Manaya,
playing
if
with
you
the party,
want to,
right? Like
you can
finding
roll, right?
reasons for V
And,
to stay
Dewey as
here,
well.
to work with the party, you
If you
know?
want to.
Yeah.
And
And
I always felt very compelled by that.
19.
It actually took I
14
think
for
half of the first
so
arc
the deception does
before
win out,
stuff
but
happened
it is still,
to like,
it's slightly
okay,
suspicious. The margin is
V
not
would buy
huge.
into this group now
So
at this
let's say,
point.
okay, that's like a.
Oh,
that's
I actually
a
remember exactly what the
plausible
moment is now,
deniability, but
which I
due to
won't say
V's
for spoilers.
Strange entrance, perhaps you're still a little.
No, please share it. This is our rerun stream, so
Yeah,
we get to
well, I mean,
talk anything
really,
about
it comes down to the end of episode 6
so
and
as
into
the
7,
sort of like do like the
into even the
like
beginning of
standoff,
8, you know,
right? Maybe, like,
which
looking at each
all
other.
involves the first time we see
Finally,
Sievert, and
last
Manaya
but certainly
chose
not
to go
least,
with V
Oka.
to
You
meet
appear
Sievert,
from a
and then
different edge
Oka
of
helped
the
rescue
farmhouse.
V at
Instead
the
of
end
walking
of
through
that
beets,
first
you are
encounter.
walking through rows
And
of
that, like,
carrots and
you know,
lettuce.
For V
And
being
you
as
finally
untrusting
draw
as she
up
was, that was
onto
like,
this
that meant
porch.
something. And
You
so
see
now
this
she's like willing to buy into this group a little bit
pigeon
more.
folk,
But
you see this half-orc
if I could
woman,
find
and
any
you see
reason,
this-
I also didn't want to be an asshole
and
and be
as
that
all
person at
three
the
of
table
you,
that like people just like,
Manaya,
oh,
V,
Erica's
and
just gonna do something that's
Dewey
gonna
put your
sabotage us or
eyes
whatever.
upon this
I didn't want to be
newcomer.
that person either.
See, why don't you tell us, what do they see?
I mean, you did an incredible job, and I love how like this internal
Oka
character journey
looks
really
maybe
tracked
like you might
for
expect a drow half-elf
V, but on the
to look.
outside,
They have
despite
kind
V
of,
being like
stony
occasionally kind of
gray
suspicious,
skin,
what V
and
actually did was
really
travel with the
short,
party,
like,
help them
cropped
out,
black hair
save their lives
that's
on like numerous
definitely grown
occasions,
out a little
and
bit
like
too
pitch
quick.
in.
They should have gotten a
You know,
haircut
like you
like a
never
week
actually
ago.
stole from anyone
There were
significantly.
some, like, wisps
But
coming
except for
out.
like the reveal at the end of the
they're
series where you were like, I was
only 5
constantly
weeks,
stealing from you
so
all.
they're
I
kind
think
of
you like
a
said something like
I
that.
don't know about handsome face.
But like, I
that is,
love V's journey as
upon
like
closer inspection.
the charlatan who's like, oh, I don't care about people. I keep them at
lip,
arm's length. I don't help people. I only watch out for
pointed
myself. But like,
through
she ends
just
up being the
about
most
middle,
generous
with an
and the most
old
selfless
Yeah.
person,
scar.
like deep down and
there are a
truly
few
in action and in
more, just
feeling.
kind of crisscrossed
Yeah.
across their body,
Which definitely was like, you
dribbling
know,
down their forehead.
I wouldn't say that
They
was
have
necessarily the
a
goal at the
handful
beginning,
of
but like once we got a
piercings,
couple arcs in, I'm like, yeah,
in this
this
6
person like
o'clock
needs to go on
light.
that journey of like, okay,
And their
I'm willing to
eyes,
do what it takes for this group. And I
maybe
think that's
giving
like a
away the
beautiful,
fact that
you
they
know,
are
statement.
Not just a drow half elf, have 2 pupils in each
Oh,
eye.
the Oka
that sit
intro.
next to each other.
Maybe I'm just,
Also,
it's just
Oka
me.
is absolutely fucking smashed. They are stumbling.
There it is. There's the Yoko I know.
Yep, I love this choice
I
from
like that
C. I
title.
love
Why
this
don't
choice
you
so
have
much. It's
some
so
inspiration
strong.
for that?
And if right, oh yeah, I gave inspiration. Oh my
I hope
god,
you guys
yeah.
have noticed that I've given each of you inspiration. Because you're gonna need it.
Why did I say this?
As all 4 of you convene and the first 3 of you feast your eyes upon this strange double-pupiled drow? Question mark. All 4 of you.
I'm
before
so
before you can
funny
even
with
say
my
anything, you
GMing. Like
stumble
I'm
forward,
basically
right?
doing everything
All
except
4 of
saying
you
wink,
hear
wink,
a
nudge,
muffled
nudge, like out
voice
loud. I'm like doing
from
everything
inside
up
the
until that
house.
point.
And it says something
But
in
at the same
Tamari,
time, being
which I
as
don't
one of the
think any
players,
you speak, so you don't know
and
what
you know,
they're
this was
saying.
our second time
and
playing
then
together with you as
That's true.
GM, so like
door
I had a
swings
taste
open.
of flavor.
And
Max
Manaya, you
and
see him
Lyra
most
had no
clearly.
experience with you really whatsoever.
Man.
C obviously
Sits
knew
in
you
a
pretty well at this
wheelchair
point, but like
at the threshold,
there's so much of like,
dressed in a
what-
denim apron.
is Connie fucking
he
with
has
us right
dark
now?
hair,
Is
very
what is
well
like my head was doing calculus for most of this campaign all the time.
Dyed just the shimmer
And
of
as you
blonde
learned,
at the top.
it paid
And
off.
this
It was
elf's
good to do
dark
calculus because
brown
I was
eyes
scheming.
settle over you,
I was
Manaya,
scheming and setting
then
things up.
over V, and then Dewey, and finally Oka.
Also, I was gonna say I might just be
His face seems to fall
bugging,
a
but I
little.
feel like C's voice was
he opened the door
higher
with a
because
smile
they
and his
did
face
like
falls
go
a
on
little
T
bit.
for like half a year
And then he smiled
after
again.
this, but their
and
voice
addresses the
barely
four of you in
changed. So
common.
maybe I am just
Oh,
bugging.
I'm sorry. The 4 of you are.
Well, it's so hard with like
Bears and
the
party
quality of
doesn't start
mics
till
they have aren't
9.
That's true.
But
picking
please,
up the richness
come in,
of
come in.
both
I'll
Max
get us
and
some
C's
corn.
voice.
And he wheels himself around.
Adelin! Happy Adelin! Yes.
Happy Adolin, come on in. And he begins to wheel himself inside.
We got
leaving your doors
Cathor.
open.
Thoroughly convinced that he's at the wrong address.
To sort of battle
Max's little one-liners, honestly, like Max.
The entire campaign Some of my favorite
and
one-liners
your
came from
contact
Max.
No, literally.
to ensure that it is the correct
God, I
location.
love Max.
Okay. I walk in.
Okay.
And I was gonna duck through the entrance.
Oh my god, we had a
Wonderful.
little
Why don't
donation
Frank, you
gif
look
of
like you
the.
need to get inside first. Why don't you, Happy Adelaide, and why don't you take the lead here?
Are you trying
Speaking of donations, though, I noticed we have $50 on the screen, so thank you. Thank you for whoever donated
What are
the
you
50.
doing on the
I much
ground?
appreciate it.
It's Adelaide, get up!
For Dee Dee's house.
Come on!
You're going to be on the ground soon, by the looks of it, friend. Just shh, just use your indoor voice.
Yeah, Kai, you're right. It
Very
wasn't
beautiful,
official.
very beautiful cacti they
The
have
Artificer
here.
class wasn't
I should have
officially
been here
published for
years ago.
5e
It's
yet
so
in
nice.
2020, but it was
But why don't
new.
you
It was
go? Why
new
don't-
back then. It was like definitely being play tested.
Threatening me? Are you threatening me?
I am your friend. I am always threatening you. That's how we be friends.
This elven man says,
I forgot that line. It's such a
"Come
good
on,
line.
come in. The door's open. Don't let the flies in."
Let's go then. Shall we?
V stands up and after you.
Great. The four of you traipse into presumably Delapothes, but this person is clearly an elf, not a tiefling, into this farmhouse, and the door closes behind you. You are welcomed into a nice, homey sitting room that is quite
That was an interesting
grand.
question.
There is an. I
This
just
is
saw it.
like a
Yeah.
well-furnished
Ghost Boy
farmhouse.
_ does
This
art.
elf is
Asks,
clearly
how early on
fairly
did you figure out the
well-to-do.
whole transplanar
If
universe?
the
Was
size
the
of his
was the whole multiverse
lands,
planned from the
and
beginning?
their manicured state is
Was it part of
anything to
Eberron? Oh,
indicate.
that's about the Artificer.
And
I see.
he rolls
No,
over to a
it was
little
not.
table where you see there are some
I
cinders set out,
knew
finger foods,
exactly what
some
was happening with
papas, as well as,
Andake's like
meats,
plain building
some
situation,
stewed
like the
buns,
now, the
you know,
after, and the
little
beyond. I
things
had all
like
that mapped
and you can
out, like where the
smell
gods
something
lived, their
cooking
relationships to each
deeper
other, their
within.
relationships
The
to
house
the
looks
now, their relationships to the
delicious,
after.
like some sort of like meat and vegetable
I
roasting,
had
perhaps.
God.
And
When
this
did I
man,
come up with the
wheels himself around
precepts?
and says, "All right, so
I actually don't think I
and he
came up
holds
with the
out a hand
precepts until
expectantly
like
to your group."
arc 3,
Oh, of course.
maybe.
When I takes out the letter. And
I don't
hands it to
think
him.
it was during
Oh.
arc 1, episode 1 that I like knew what
And,
the precepts
he
were,
opens
but
it,
I definitely
pops
came
open
up with the
seal
idea of
without
the
even, like,
precepts
really
like
looking at it,
during the
and
second
he
Stranger.
takes out
I
the letter
think
and says,
fairly
"Is this
early
a
on.
banknote?"
This is. I was
I
told
don't
delivered
think
to
I don't think from arc 1,
Delapothe
episode 1 though.
Oh,
here
Or
at the
maybe-
farm.
oh, you're not.
Maybe
You're
it
not
was
here for the
actually from the very beginning because I always
Oh,
knew
you know,
that
I
the
would
big
love to
bad was
say, but I
Oblivion.
really must get be back to my ship.
So I think I knew from the
Oh,
very
well,
beginning. I think so. Actually,
not
I'm
here
gonna.
right
I'm actually
now.
gonna say that this
But
has
if
been
you
Big
hang
Brain
on, I'm
Connie
sure he'll
from
be
the
back in
beginning.
just
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it's from the beginning because I'm thinking
roll
logically.
with
Like I had to have known who Oblivion was and like what her deal was and all that stuff.
Oh.
And to know Oblivion, I had to know about Fate and Magic too. So
you'll be back
I'm
in a
pretty
minute.
sure I
Can
had
we also roll?
that from
Yeah,
the
why
very
don't the
start.
rest of you roll
But I didn't like flesh it out, honestly, until like arc 7. Like
Oh
in terms
boy,
of and
V, what did
in
you
terms of
get?
giving them personalities.
That one.
You asked for it.
another
You
nat
tweeted
one.
wanting
Another
that
nat one, I forgot about
Oh,
that.
I forgot that I called that.
Uka, what did you
I
get?
challenged the fates on Twitter
18.
right before this about
Okay,
rolling
dear.
nat ones. And then I rolled a
Okay,
bunch of nat ones.
Manaya, yeah, seems to be telling the truth. Dal will be back shortly, and the same for you as well, Dewey.
But yeah, I didn't have all the
V,
details ironed out. Like I had, how I like to
only
GM, especially
this
for
elf
long-term big
man telling the
campaigns
truth,
that are very story
but
forward,
you
is I like to have
you suddenly
huge
feel
touchstone
very
ideas,
beholden
like
to him
up
for
there,
some
like
reason,
generally
and you will
speaking,
have disadvantage
what
on
is
all
the structure of
insight
this,
checks on this
you know,
man
world like,
until
and
the end of the
anything
hour
directly
with your
relevant to the
nat one.
campaign that I'm
That's
running,
what that means.
because it wasn't relevant to know
Oka,
the overall
with your 18,
multiversal structure,
there's
but it was
something
really
slightly
relevant and
amiss
important to
here.
know about
It
Endake's
was
like
either a
planar
look of
relationships with each other.
Worry or concern that crossed this man's face briefly. But whatever he is, he's very skilled at deception. Based on
Oh my god, I had a whole
He was a
backstory for
master.
Kothor. Like I had that entire thing
Let's help
written,
yourself to the
like an
bud.
entire
The
like
rest of you, are
huge
you
long
here for the
backstory
party?
written for Kothor, why
That he
he
holds out
behaved
his
the way he
hand
did.
hesitantly
He was, I
and-
think I've revealed this on stream before, like a previous stream. He was from the he's from Jukai.
I was just passing
And
by
he was
and
really
noticed
used
your
to like
beautiful
wearing
farm here.
many
I
faces
don't-
and changing masks, like social
what-
masks,
what is it that
because
you
of Sen,
need?
right?
You
Like
need-
from that
you need
tradition,
from
and
me?
that's why he was
I could provide
so
it.
good at charisma in this scene.
It is a strange thing for someone to be passing through the farm, enter my home, and then ask me what I need. Not even my therapist does that.
I'm very concerned about your needs and wants. I'm here to provide. I'm V. I'm your best friend.
He just goes
Pushing X to
and then
doubt.
glances at you, Oka, as you speak.
So is Telepathy out getting the booze? That's why they're not here right now?
Hold on, are all of you not here for the party, but rather looking for my husband?
I'm here for the party with your husband, actually.
I am the party.
I am decidedly not the
I'm
party.
the party.
So none of you have the entry fee?
I am decidedly not the party. I'm so sorry. That was so
You wanted
fucking
money.
funny
Why
and
don't you
fast
say
from
what
Max.
you need? This is a communication problem you need to work on.
Listen, he pauses, takes a breath, and says, "Calm down, Cathor. Pick your battles." And he looks back up, and he says, "We sent out invitations to all the nobility of Solmanad weeks ago. RSVPs have already come in. We were told that... we told folks to pay at the door. And clearly, you're not paying at the door. And I'm beginning to doubt you even received RSVPs in the first
I just remember I started this campaign with 0
What
gold.
business do each of you have with my husband?"
I know, you were like accumulating gold throughout the
What
series.
about
And you
I
ended up
needed-
starting your own
That's
business.
an invitation. We're here.
Clearly.
We're here together.
But like for the
This is
sorcerer thing,
absolutely true.
the chromatic orbs that I
First
used
of
a
all, this
lot
letter,
early on
and this
required
man
a
referred
diamond.
himself
You
as
needed to have a
Cathor.
diamond on you.
Opens
And
it, he
in order,
reads it. He says,
I wrangled everything. I rolled just
"This
enough
letter
gold
only
to
pertains
buy
to the
one
half-orc,
as a starting
and
equipment,
it has
and so
nothing
I
to do
started
with
this
the party.
campaign with 0.
In
So every time I
fact,
was trying to get money,
rips
it's
out
because
the
I
letter.
I had nothing. But then money was like
Hana had given you very
not a
specific
problem by the end of this
instructions
campaign.
to make sure Dalapati got the letter. He rips it up,
Oh,
and he begins to roll over to the fireplace.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm sorry. I was given express direction to deliver it to Dalapathy. And I would feel oh so terrible if it didn't get to him.
You are a very bad wing person. And Cathor just begins to sprinkle it into the fire.
Wow, I'm like,
guess
this
it
is
is
so funny because running this scene, I had
can
like
see that
notes to myself
Cathor's,
about like Cathor's
patience,
attitude
his
toward the players
hospitality
and
wears
like
a
specific
little
actions and specific
And
like
after
ideas.
he casts
And I feel like in terms of
the
growth,
letter
if
into
I were to
the flame,
GM this scene again, I would like obviously do it very
I'm gonna
differently.
give
Like
you
I
a
would
chance,
portray
Maya,
Cathor very
to
differently.
contest and, like, grab the
But I
shit
feel like
letter from him if you don't want
in
him
this
to
moment,
throw it
Cathor feels like
away, or
very
you just let
like
him do it.
like he's the first obstacle
I
to
would
Dalapathy. Where I
Right,
just want to
this is
like
the
take
first puzzle.
I know, literally the
That's
first
fair.
puzzle, the first
So
encounter,
he
right? But I
throws it
really want
into
to
the
grab
fire,
myself and be like,
he,
just give
wheels
him the
himself back
information.
around,
Connie, just
and
give him the information. Just
says,
give him the information. Like add some
"I will
flavor to it, but
ask
give him the
each
info.
of you one last time. You can either pay me the entry fee and stay for the
nothing
party,
was given to us
or
in
you
this
can
first
leave."
episode.
No, I made you all work
How much
so
was the
hard
entry fee?
for every
500 gold
scrap
pieces.
of information, and that is honestly that's GM advice to pass me. GM advice generally speaking. Don't make them work so fucking hard because first of all, even if you just gave them the information straight up, there's no guarantee that they receive it correctly. That they think what you're saying is what you're trying to say. That's the first barrier, right? If you hide
Very
that
well,
behind
make a
multiple
report,
checks,
then
that's even
and
worse.
Cathor
So-
begins to roll away. But as you know, each of you are maybe like
That's something I've
gathering
definitely
thoughts.
learned
He
since this
pauses,
episode.
and his eyes linger on the huge axe that you have strapped across your back, Manaya, and the huge sword you have strapped across yours, Dewey. And he says, "Wait, hold on. Are any of you sell swords?"
I am a sellsword. Actually, it's not even a lie.
The irony of looking to Dewey
actually
with
a
Dewey's
sword.
big sword and be
I
like,
know.
huh, I wonder if this person's a mercenary.
I hate for it to be the four of you who have done nothing
You're
so mean.
sassy.
Not even my
I know.
husband.
I was really mean to you all in character.
But you're looking for my husband, right, Dal?
Well, I suppose I was. But with the letter delivered, I really should be getting back.
Oh, now it's
I would like to
backfiring.
have some words with him. I mean, after this rude display, I would like to have some words.
So Manaya,
I'd like to talk to your manager,
technically
V.
delivered, but Lahahana was very specific about making sure Doll got her message.
Right, and
it
my
was like a
handle, it's so
tender
funny because
message,
all of
a
our
message
overlays, my
love
handle is
and
still D and Daddy
affection.
issues.
And she would definitely be very crushed if that was not confirmed to be delivered. And Kathor says, look, the party's not for a little bit, but I am... Okay, fine, I'll just tell you. My husband... He's missing. He's been, he's been missing for a little over an hour. Which, I know. This has happened before.
I don't. Okay, there was a very specific reason for myself in my GM prep for why Dalapathy was just missing for an hour, because I planned out the entire day. I planned out the entire itinerary, the entire timeline of this, like from like the morning. I was like, Dal did this from like 9 to 12, and then from like 12 to 3 they did this, and then from like da 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 da. So I was like, oh, it only makes sense that Dalapathy was missing for an hour. But now as I'm looking back on it, I should have made this guy go missing for like 3 days. Like he should have been gone for much longer. There's reasons because of like the pregnancy and the childbirth and the helping of being a wet nurse. There were reasons because like, oh, she's only been in labor for like X amount of hours. But there are ways to fudge it, Connie. You know, like someone could be in labor for like 2 days and that's really intense, and that's why they had to go out and get a, you know, a doula.
Lahahana has to tell him.
Things to learn. More you know.
What say the four of you?
Well, you know, first off, I sympathize.
I'd worry
with
if
your
Doll was missing for
position,
5
and
minutes.
I feel
You're
you.
so valid,
Second of all,
because I would worry
I will
too.
be most useful.
Yeah, no, it was like a
in helping
hilarious
procure
character choice
your
for him to
loved
be
one.
gone for an hour and Cawthon to be
However, my
really,
services do
really
require
displeased.
an upfront payment deposit. We call it deposit, only so that you know you don't rip me off later.
And this is why I was just getting just any money in case I needed money at all in this journey.
Is Anaya coming in?
You will exploit. I will find your husband, and I will do it for free, out of the goodness of my heart, because that's what good people do.
Well, thank you. And your name.
Yeah, cactus girl. That's what good people do.
And
Oh my
your
god,
names?
Oka.
Manaya.
Manaya. A pleasure. And the rest of you?
Oh right,
Victoria.
the names. Victoria.
Victoria. And he turns expectantly to you.
I used to have a digital notepad, sticky note on the corner of my PC. That when we did sessions, I had all these V names on there.
The drunk
And then at one point it accidentally closed, and then I started still needing names.
Name's Oka.
Which is when we
And
get
I'm
full
not an
Wendy.
And I'm not from Talmud. Sure, we can all say blatant lies today. Oh, the sky's green. Oh, you haven't ruined my Adolin. Let's keep playing this game of fibbing, shall we? Now, look,
I don't know
if it's
why
an upfront
Cawthon was so
payment you want, I
fucking
can't
rude.
guarantee you that, but we
Because I was
will
playing from like the
find my
internal
husband.
truth that like
I
Cawthon was very
can
like
promise
concerned about
you, you
telepathy
will not only
and like
be-
very distraught about
not
these like
only be in
strangers
debt,
who,
but we
you
will
know,
pay
coming
you
into
what would
his
have been
house.
your entry.
But first of all, he let them in.
Okay,
Second of
how
all,
about-
these strangers like
Since
are his
it
best
is a
hope
noble and
for
good
fighting
cause and all
telepathy.
my new friends
Right.
are apparently such wonderful humans. I will
For
deposit
Wendy.
5 gold pieces.
Because I remember you
want
used
gold.
Victoria, you used
That's all.
Vicky.
For
else
rescuing
did
your
you
loved
use?
one. That's not bad.
Yeah, Vicky,
Roll persuasion. Let's say.
Veronica. I can't
Veronica.
remember. There were so
Veronica,
many.
yeah.
Is my persuasion.
What is
Oh,
his
welcome in
persuasion?
Amber the Huffle on Twitch.
16.
We are watching a
Okay,
rerun of our
he says,
first ever episode of any
"Fine."
show ever. So
and he pulls out 5 gold pieces
so
from his
enjoy.
pocket
This was
and
5 years ago.
says, "Do the rest
It's our
of you want to extort
Channelversary
me
stream. One of many.
in my moment
But
This
of
is our
know
silence?"
you're
entire
walking out.
Channelversary month.
Wonderful.
Which
So the four of you, is if there unless there's something else you guys want to say, we can wrap up the scene.
Valley.
We'll be back before you know it.
Thank you. Do hurry. The party is soon. My husband was last seen in the North Field, and he gives you instructions for how to get there. The four of you exit. V, you're 5 gold pieces richer. I hope you feel good about that. I hope you feel good about
I worked my
yourself.
ass
I
off.
worked, I hustled for that, okay?
But not present and past Erica.
Before you leave, and you make your way over to the north field, which is about like a 10-minute walk, let's say, away from the farmhouse. And Kothor stays back.
I can see C's face being like, can we just get to the plot? Like, I can literally see C's face.
And by the time you
I know
get
them
to
too
the
well.
north
I mean,
field,
when you think about that
the sun
conversation
has
as like
set.
a
Well
puzzle
over
checkpoint, like it makes sense though. Like that was the first like
It was like the first encounter,
Fight.
right? Yeah.
Are just beginning to
But okay,
settle
listen.
the night sky.
I had the
So
prologue,
luminous and
which
bright
each of your
that
individual
nighttime
scenes.
travel
I had the
in the
travel
night
sequence to get to the
in
farm,
this
which each of your
world is not only
intros,
safe,
character intros.
but
I had the
advisable.
encounter with
And as the
Kothor.
five of
I
you
had the
approach this
investigation
northern
at the
field,
farm.
the
I had
constellations
the
of
investigation at the
which is
butte.
the name of the
I had
peak
the
zone
encounter to get
all of the
through
Dake. Oh my God, thank you for
the
explanation.
headquarters of the
Amazing.
stewards.
Begin
I had
to
the
appear.
encounter to
Here in the
roleplay with the
Republic of
stewards,
Talmud,
and then an
it is
entire
the
fucking
constellation of
combat
Yudamati, this
encounter.
three-headed
And then the
god
cliffhanger at the end. That's like
war and
9
mountains
separate
and
events.
lightning.
That's
and you
way
probably
too many
had more
things.
planned.
Prominently
And
You
I
probably
literally had more
more.
planned. I literally had more planned, but I was like, oh
In
no,
about
we
10
have to like
minutes,
stop
of
there.
course, you reach the field. You see beds upon
Yes,
beds
yes, the
of
cat is in the first episode. We're about to
cacti,
meet the cat.
leafy rhubarbs, and
Yeah, I know, Kai.
fern-like
9
toxic
things.
fruits
And I had to
sprawling
rush
outward.
through the
60
like
feet in
going
front of you,
through
you
the
see the
stewards
northern
headquarters because I had like a bunch of
which is
I had
an
each of their
iron
rooms
wrought
prepped
entryway
and I
that connects
each of the
fence
items in all of their
surrounding the
rooms
entire
prepared
perimeter
that would
of
like
fire root farm.
be like visually
30
storytelling.
feet to
It was like
your
visual
west,
storytelling
you see a,
about who each of these characters
tin
were, their
roof
personalities, like their
lean-to
secret goals and
constructed
drives and
against a
hidden secrets that they're
small
keeping from
wooden
each other.
tower.
Like I had like an entire
Beyond the
relationship chart
northern gate
mapped out
lies
for these characters that we met for like 3 seconds.
flat, dry plateaus and oscillating mesas and buttes of the Republic's badlands.
That's just the life of a
Far
GM.
west, beyond the lean-to, the shack, and the fence, you can see the boundary waters
And by the
glittering in
9th
sunlight,
arc
and you
Connie
smell
or 8th arc
salted
Connie's like,
ocean spray.
I'll figure it out on the
Okay,
way.
if you wanna
I know, literally, like by actually, the arc
have a
8 was very
question.
intensely
As
structured because it was the
we're-
finale.
as we're
But like
walking
arc
along,
6 or 7, or like
Oka
even
lived in
4,
the
like where there were
Badlands
things,
for
but I was like,
years.
okay, these are the 2 things
Is
that's gonna happen in this
landscape
section,
familiar
and
to
like
them at
that's
all,
it.
Or would they have any insight as to
Well,
caves,
plus, like,
tunnels?
As players, we'll screw up your plan
hiding
one way or the other, so
places?
don't worry.
Bandit
We'll
camp?
make
I
it
love it when
happen.
players
That
screw
would
up
be
my
intense.
plans.
I'll give you advantage on your investigation rolls for the area, due to your knowledge of the area. Okay. So it is currently, by the time you reach the northern
Oh, my way of
field, it is
talking.
currently 6:30 in the evening. How do the 4 of you begin your investigation?
Chickens rain from the sky. That's so funny. Actual names of the chickens. I believe they were technically I took
Manai's going to
took them
turn
from a
to the party and
D&D
say-
monster block. They're called the Wretched. They're part of the Sorrow
and
Sworn
she turns to
in D&D.
Victoria and says,
Oh,
You
Amber,
seem
that's so
most
sweet of
familiar
you.
with
Yeah.
the,
Oh, I'm so glad that you're now a DM.
Grand life,
Keep
so,
doing your thing. Menace your
Yeah.
maybe you should
players.
start there. You two look a bit more
That
familiar
means
with
a lot.
the actual landscape to Dewey and Oka. I suggest we split up.
Okay,
You
I don't know if
take,
you all saw that
the
brief
farm,
cursor
I'll
go
look
over
for that
C's face.
shack,
That
and
was
we can
me
do in an
in
hour.
the as a producer, like adjusting
Fair enough.
something.
Is there I would like to maybe just make a general investigation.
Honestly,
roll
if you
about
continue to think of the chicken
like,
boys
the
as just
region that we're in, or,
hairless,
like,
not
the
hairless,
specific area,
featherless
to see if I,
chickens.
can think of any places.
That's pretty accurate.
That I might.
I
know
still
of.
think of the chicken
That are
boys
nearby. Okay,
as
why don't you
just
roll nature for
featherless
this general
chickens.
area? Again, you are on the western edge of northern Talmud, sitting right
You're on the western edge of northern
Northern
Talmud.
Talmud is
Should
like
I roll this with advantage?
Yes, let's do that. So Manaya, after
The
you propose
northwest
your
corner.
plan,
We're in the
GMP,
northwest
how are
corner.
you
Got it.
yes.
Okay.
I should have just said that. I should have just said you're in the northwest
Sure,
corner.
that sounds like wonderful ideas,
Papa.
Amanaya. So I'm
It's not your
going to
papa's
try
here,
to investigate the
Connie.
plants.
Sounds good.
to
Specifically-
see what-
Come here,
So
Baba.
the like the
yeah, I'm just gonna like.
go ahead. We like kept cutting each other off. It was like yeah, go ahead. Go
So
ahead.
yeah, I'm like gonna go through and like try to identify if there's like what these plants are, if there's anything weird like tracks in them.
Yeah, why don't you investigate the cacti?
He's
the
so
rhubarbs,
big
and the
and
carrots.
adult
so
now.
roll
I know.
investigation on the.
I
on the
remember when
carrots.
just a little kitty.
What did you get, Oka?
I think maybe you're thinking of cricket
Thank-
because
oh,
we
I
had
got
because our
21.
housemate
Holy
had like a
cow.
kitten. But
Wait,
Baba
we've
has always
sworn
been an
already?
adult.
Holy shit cow!
He is now technically a senior though.
A 21.
I see a shit cow. In the
You see a shit
distance.
cow in the distance.
Well, I remember. I
don't want
yeah,
to-
I
we got
took
the
care of
shit
him that
cow
one time
when
when
you
you were out of town.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah,
shit
you
cow.
did. You did.
Okay.
Somebody clip that. Clip that.
Okay.
Took him all week to
You
not just hide under the
know,
bed for me, but
Because you rolled for a general check, right? So I'll give you.
No,
General
he's gotten
details for
he's gotten much
21.
better. He's gotten
This
braver
area
actually.
has outside of the
Oh,
cultivated
Bubba.
farmland.
He's settling down on his
It's
cat
getting kinda
bed,
loud,
which
I'm
is
gonna
right
take a
next to
minute.
the stream
This area
setup.
has a lot of mesas and buttes. A mesa,
Here we go,
you know,
mesas and
is
buttes.
just sort
Mesas
of
and
like
buttes.
perhaps the most prominent feature of
That's-
the Badlands. They're like
That should be like an album title of a
sloping,
band.
rocky outcrops,
Like a 90s
outcroppings.
indie
Geological
band.
phenomenon. They're usually like reddish, very arid soil croppings. Buttes they look like huge like cubes of earth that come out of the ground, and they're usually on like an elevated, almost like a little stand or a dais.
First ever dais. The first ever dais in the show.
Like,
First dais spotted.
layers or anything like that. There aren't any there's no like known
Bubba, please help me mod.
living, like nearby.
Oh, back up onto his cat
Though
tree.
there have been in past years.
I
based on
remember
the
C
21,
gave me feedback after this,
reports
in their
especially in the
proto-dramaturg
past
era, being like,
of
we
animals
know what a mesa and a butte
being able
is. You don't have to mansplain the landscape to us. Not mansplain. They didn't say it like that. But I just thought it was really funny.
V, what did you get on your investigation roll?
13.
13. With your 13, yes, you do see tracks. You see clear track marks, right? Of
Right.
footprints trampling over the vegetables, coming from the northern gate, past the beds, and toward the lean-to. With your 14,
I had like a whole like
the tracks
mystery,
are
like this is like a
long,
mystery
depends on how many
investigation, right? Of
people
like,
one
oh,
species
you know,
would be.
Miss Witherspoon dropped, the
Friends,
canary
I'm not
on the
tracking
bed
expert, but I
10
see
minutes
some things
before
here that
blah blah blah.
look
Like
they
it was
could be
so
things.
context
Perhaps.
dependent. It was so timing
Did
dependent.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
did you know
Yeah.
that animals could talk out here?
So you're saying if we would have like rolled to get somewhere as fast as possible, we could have maybe caught someone
No,
in,
no, I mean like,
right in their tracks?
like chipmunks and stuff.
Actually, no, because this all happened an hour before you got
I
there.
swear. Don't look at me like I swear.
You haven't met an Aarakocra before, I take it?
No, a chipmunk.
As the two of you sort of like go back and forth, your eyes are drawn to the earth that Veronica, right? Is that the fake name you're using? Victoria. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot your fake name. Victoria.
They're gonna come and go a lot, so don't worry about it.
Each of you see the track marks. Yeah, leading from the northern gate, like trampling over the beds toward the lean-to. And
It
the
is funny
remaining
that
three of
V
you,
would
Oka
like
and
I
you can
noticed
make
them
your
and
own
like V's like
investigation checks if
has
you want.
no wilderness ability whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like the entire D
Yeah, I was
and D
gonna
build
head
is
over to
built
the
for
shack anyway.
not
Sounds good.
outdoors.
Yeah,
Assume
for
that
Charlotte,
they might be
like
right there, I'm
social
just gonna start
encounters. Yeah,
walking.
this is maybe one of the portions
Dewey?
of the.
I got a nat 20 plus 4.
Oh my god, wait! I want to educate this
Okay.
first. I want to see how this plays out,
Work.
and then I want to skip
What
forward.
did you get, Oka?
What you want to miss you licking
Sorry,
your
this is
own?
so hard to do
Oh
math.
yeah, the butthole. Okay,
Succeed.
maybe
Okay,
we'll cut
okay,
right to the
you-
butthole.
You gain more or less.
Hold on.
Yes. Though, are you also getting close? Are you like
I feel like.
approaching?
Yeah, let's go forward a bit.
Oh.
Oh, the coin! Right, the Scott and Nectus coin.
Yeah,
Do any
this
of
is the
you
first time
know
we
this
s-
symbol?
Yeah.
get one of those.
I'd show it out to
I
the-
believe
Man, if
Manaya's
I
the one
knew
who
then
finds
what
it,
I
yeah.
knew now
Would all
about
of you
Scott
roll
and
for
Nectus, am I right?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Man, I should have like, because I had ideas for like.
Roll.
I knew the four of you
Four.
were gonna be paragons. I knew that from the very beginning. You know,
17.
whole paragon
14.
war thing that was setting up.
14.
But I had a
Nine.
feeling that you were gonna be Scott and
9.
Nectus. I had a
Naya-
feeling for
Dragons. You don't know of a dragon.
Munchausen
god.
for
Dragons were
Dewey,
creatures
actually.
you do know.
For
Everyone
Sen
knows
for
this,
Oka
that
and
went
for Mahu
extinct
for
thousands
Malaya,
of years
but
ago,
I
along with giants.
didn't land
Don't
on
know much beyond
Galtanger
that.
until like
Dewey?
2 arcs later.
It's definitely religious in appearance, the way it's carved.
But
you
I
don't
was the
know
only
much
one that,
beyond
like,
Again,
come
you
on,
can't
that-
think of a
that's-
dragon god as well, and you're not necessarily concerned
Just
with
makes
using culture
sense.
as you are with technology. V.
Scott and Nectus makes a lot of sense for
Not only is this
Vasanti too.
iconography religious in appearance,
absolutely.
It definitely very likely points to someone or maybe a group of people that worship dragons. Like the way that
Oh,
the
right, the
dragon
cult.
is carved.
The stewards, the
Yes.
copper
Like,
stewards.
serene
And this whole thing, I set up this whole like, I was setting up this whole like
Like,
dragons versus giants thing here.
why there's a
And I did a
bagpipe on
lot
the
of
other side,
work
you
and
don't
research in
really
Arc
know.
5, I
Okay,
believe.
you know why
Was
there's a
that
bagpipe on the other
Vasan was that Tyrion?
The
No, Arc
bagpipe
6.
Six.
Arc 6
Yeah.
is Tyrion, yeah. I did a lot of work leading up to Arc 6 to like really like honestly like
which is one
decolonize the
half
approach
of
to that because I didn't
sky
like that it was like two
was
species against each
gods
other.
of risk
Like
and
that
reward.
was really
And
bioessentialist to
together,
me.
the
So
couple comprised
there's a reason
small
why like
number
the
of
world
people.
building here doesn't exactly
Also know
fully
that it is
align with like some of
blasphemous
the
to worship
like
one lover
linguistic
over or apart from the
specificities and
other.
like the
They're
world building
always
stuff that I did
confused
for
there,
arc
which is why seeing
6.
this bagpipe on its
I did
own
like
is
a lot
fun.
more thought and I really complicated it. Made it a bit more expansive.
It's,
So that it was about like bloodlines
should
of
put that
specifically of
back.
like magic practice that
That's bad
anyone
luck.
could do. And the
Yeah.
practice, like the tradition of the magic would
Oh,
like alter you, right? As opposed to like
But
how
I
you
said
were
that
born into it.
before.
Which honestly makes it like way
What's up
cooler
again?
in the end.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, it does. It makes it
Step
like a
back
lot
above
more
the
interesting and nuanced.
Like honestly,
He contemplates
if you wrote
stealing
a
it.
like a D&D module for those two like magic
I'm
lines,
gonna show him a
that'd
little
be awesome.
restraint.
Honestly, yeah, I'd be super down for it. Like gigantic and
I'm
draconic
thinking
magic,
about it,
right?
but I'm
Like
not
one is
gonna do
raw,
anything.
one is like tool based, right? And
So
it's just
this is
like
the
different
information
schools
all
of
we have
thought.
right now. There are
Yeah.
2 sets of humanoid disadvantage.
Oh my
If you're being abrasive to a
Right,
cat.
12, 20.
Oh my god, the cat! Okay, hold on. Being
There's
abrasive
no,
to a
like,
cat.
soft soil here, right?
Okay, I think the cat's coming here.
The arid, dry earth is a lot harder to track than soft, pliable earth. And as you approach the northern gate, following
Here
these
we go.
tracks, you see an orange cat, presumably feral. There's no collar, sitting on the fence. It is it's sitting on the fence and it's licking its paw and grooming its.
Also, fun fact: the reason why the cat can
Hey,
talk
does
is
that talk?
technically.
Yeah, do you talk?
Oh, by who?
Okay,
can't
you
give
approach
0.
and scream at the cat, demanding to know whether or not it talks. Roll animal handling. With disadvantage, you're being kind of abrasive.
It's such a funny adjudication, actually.
Natural 20!
Disadvantage, my dude. Disadvantage.
Oh my god.
You're being abrasive to a
Right,
cat.
12, 20. That one.
A 3.
A 3.
The cat,
2 is 5.
surprisingly enough, the cat doesn't run away. It lowers its paw and it glances at you with what can only be described as immense disdain. And it goes, "Of course I can talk."
Max.
So let's take a break there. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, our first
Oh, we
break.
did take a
We did
break.
take a break. We did
Excellent.
take a break. I feel like we took
Mute
2
your
breaks.
mics. We will be back in a few minutes, 10 to 15.
It was
Oh
a
my god, when
pretty
everyone had to
long-
mute their mics because I didn't know.
As well.
do
We'll be
that
back
on my
soon.
end
Love you
during
guys.
the
Right, we
break.
had that like 5 to 10 minute awkward silence when we had to say.
And we literally just had to sit in silence, and then we're back.
We're back.
Fun fact about the cat. The reason why it can talk was technically I was using a stat block from D&D for a copper dragon, because Kamba was like a draconic sorcerer. But in this version, she was actually like a dragon before I like readjusted things. And one of the environment actions of a copper dragon is all like many animals within a 1 mile radius of this layer can talk. So that's why this cat
Of
can
course I
talk.
can speak.
Never found out that lore.
Oka turns to the rest of the party.
I know.
and they just
Because
kind of
you didn't even find
gesture
out that Tombo was a
grandly.
draconic sorcerer until like arc
I don't hear
6.
anything.
Mhm.
I'm joking. Wow, with a crazy cat. Okay,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, that's a
you're
whole.
right.
It's like a. It's one
You're
of their
right.
like environmental
Crazy.
effects.
Manaya
Yeah,
turns to the cat.
I should have like
and
made it
says,
clear like there's like
"You'll have
some
to
magic
excuse my
emanating
friends
off of
here.
this cat. It's like something in the environment is affecting this cat. You know.
We'll leave you to your devices.
But did
I
you
just
see
thought it was a
anything
talking
interesting
cat.
this last little bit, this last hour? Or
Yeah, I love that all of you just
I may or may
accepted
not
that it
have
could
seen
talk.
Something interesting this last hour. Depends on who's asking.
It's your good friend Victoria, who is here to be your friend. You're a very lovely looking kitty cat. What would?
Oh, you think
Would
my
you like
fur?
some?
You like my fur? You think it's beautiful?
Oh, gorgeous! I'm jealous.
Patronize the cat. We have tracks to follow.
Oh, tracks. You're not gonna have a very easy job tracking them over that hard earth. But perhaps a little kitty cat did
Why is
see
this
where
cat
a
so
certain
gay?
someone was going. Yeah.
Cat is serving so
Meow.
much right now.
Who's that
They are
mouse?
cat,
Anyone
they
have
them.
mouse here to what? Would you like some scritches around behind the ears? I can give you that. I get very nice scritches.
If you touch me, I swear to the age, I will urinate upon you. Don't touch me. I will urinate. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna lick my butthole. And the cat
Oh, you're
and it starts licking his butthole.
Not this sounds a bit like Kane.
Someone else try. I give up.
This cat is a dandy. The Cothra's a dandy, Kane's a dandy.
Yes.
I think we're just in shock right now.
I'm getting in character. Okay. The cat says, "A mouse could persuade me. Perhaps more compliments could persuade me."
Oh, I got a little something in here. I have some rations, eh? Some jerky.
Okay.
Pull out of my pack.
Okay.
Have in my hand here.
The cat sniffs it tentatively and then starts eating it. Hints
Pull
of,
away a little bit.
hey, come now.
Why is this cat like Kane? This cat really kind of is like Kane voice.
Oh,
I could watch for hours.
oh, thank you. Oh, please stop. By that I mean please
Yes,
keep going.
please stop.
God. I never saw the
You're the
connection
biggest
till
bird.
now, till someone calls it out.
Yeah.
Don't hunt this bird. This bird, no.
Yeah, please don't.
Well, you did compliment me and you did give me some treats. I guess I can play nice. Yes, I saw 2 people and 2 lizard dogs enter.
What
about
if this
an
cat
hour
was
ago.
Kane?
They came back out the same way with the addition
Does
of a
Kane have
third
like
person.
disguised self or like some kind of?
Absolutely, they do.
The
100%
master
they
of
do.
this farmhouse.
They mostly use it to, like, you know,
And
add
which way did
makeup
they go?
when they don't want to be asked to do it
To
manually.
the north. I
That's
overheard you
literally
talking
why
about
V
going
had
to a
disguised self as
2 spires.
easy
Yeah,
makeup
just like
glamour.
spruce it up. Yeah, exactly. Just some illusory magic, spruce itself up.
Thinking of the rest of the jerky. That was very helpful. Thank you.
He starts purring and he picks up the rest of the jerky and starts eating it. And now you have this 2
The
spires,
silence.
let's say, that you can be on the lookout for.
I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna
Let us
skip forward actually, because I know there's a long ass fucking butte puzzle.
Ready herself up for the
We're
A
just like
really
trying
long
to figure
butte
this out.
puzzle. Yeah, the tiefling. Oh, Scotanectus. We have like more Scotanectus like insignias here.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
think
Because Tomba
that
was
good
like a
things are
big
going to be-
Scotanectus,
they either already
worship, I'm pretty
happened
sure.
or good things are not going to be happening here anytime.
Let's see.
Hey, thanks for hosting us. They are
my God, not
very
me.
powerful, long-lived,
Acknowledge
albeit
him.
mortal beings.
You know, I wonder if we could just
You
skip
know-
right to getting into the steward's lair. Oh my god, the lizard dogs. The puppy
Yeah.
dogs.
I love
And
lizard dogs.
it trots over to you. Are you gonna attack it?
If it's just trotting, I guess not.
It trots over to you and it sniffs you. Like sniffs.
So
your-
context for the chat if you haven't seen
like,
this episode yet.
your
This is
boots,
like they find
crotch,
a special butte with like a
sniffs-
hidden
sniffs all
door.
the
They
way up
get
to
in
you.
and there are these 2 like
And it
lizard
gets- it
dogs,
gets up
which are
on its
technically
hind
drakes
legs and
because of
tries
the
to
whole
put its
like
front paws on your
draconic
chest and
theme that I had going
face.
on here.
Hey,
I'm
down.
going to. Oh my god. Manai's gonna stumble back a little bit and be like, oh, yes, of course, and start.
And like as a
heading-
player, no
Okay,
idea of like,
Manaya, roll animal
is this
handling.
gonna be a
Rosa,
fight?
as you
Are these
listen,
dogs gonna get
as you
aggressive
look
all of a
down
sudden?
At this lizard dog, and the other you wake.
I'm
the
getting
other
ready to
one,
fireball this
which goes,
room.
"Ah."
I know, I
Technically
didn't
don't
have fire.
have that yet. Yeah, you do
Yeah,
have
no,
chromatic
I
orb.
didn't.
Cross over to you, Oka.
Are you going to attack it? Yeah, I think the context was that Manaya, I
Roll
think, was
animal
striding forward
Manaya, what did you get?
with her axe out. But then this dog was
This
creature was very friendly.
Gets down and it sits and it looks at you expectantly. Oka, what did you get?
I got a 6.
Why
The
is
lizard
C
dog
rolling?
ignores you. It immediately gets up on
horribly?
you and starts licking and nosing at
That
your treats.
never happened.
Dewey looks on in terror.
And Dewey, why don't you make a
Oh
perception
yes,
check?
you're right. Actually, it was just Scod. It was just
By the
Scod.
bookcase, right?
Oh, I had this whole thing where they were like,
Next to the fireplace. Okay, you smell something. You smell.
they were doing
the
something
savory
with like
smell
just
of
one of the 2
bubbling beef
lovers.
stew.
Either just Scod or just Nectus. I think just
Drifting in a
Nectus. Well, I could be
video
wrong.
from somewhere deeper within within.
I kind of forget what I had going on there. I had like a whole thing planned, but it never really went anywhere, and it actually didn't end up mattering that much. But I had like a whole like heresy sacrilege thing going on with the Copper Stewards, or maybe like they just had a different approach to worshiping. That some would
I think
consider
you
sacrilege.
say on the butte the fact that there was only one of them represented, like on the coin or whatever, was a bad thing, or like
Yeah, I said something that it was like heretical in some way. Yeah, but honestly, like I definitely had something planned, but I have to check my notes again because I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Ozra, you're right. You're right. It was originally based on the split between chromatic and metallic dragons. Yes, you're so right. That actually reminds me. So my original world building for this is that like I could have this flipped, but that Skad had created metallic dragons and Nectus had created chromatic ones, and that's why they were against each other. And this was like back when the lovers were like quarreling with each other or something. Like they made different dragons because they were like having like a lover spat, and then they like got over it, right? They got over it. But that's why like the metallic dragons are loyal to one and chromatic dragons are loyal to the other.
These are presumably the
and I ended up not
you've
I ended up not
seen
doing anything with that, and because I ended up folding that into my later approach to how like draconic sorcery and draconic magic worked, and that didn't really matter as much, or was relevant so much.
You are seeing a living relic. You are seeing something that should not exist.
I specifically focused a lot on draconic
out of Manaya's
plots and like draconic world building for you, Erica, for Vasanti's plot line, because I knew we wanted to go, like we wanted to explore dragons and like what it meant to have like dragon lineage and like, draconic magic and stuff, because V was a draconic sorcerer.
What do you do?
Which was, I just remember, you know, you and I had come up with some backstory stuff, some broad strokes of V, and then like the week before we have this episode, we just get a message. Oh, by the way, dragons are extinct in this world.
You don't have anything to do, V.
Oh. Well, no, that's gonna play out based on some of that written work. But
yeah, because it was originally going to be they were extinct because of the war between dragons and giants like a while back.
And all of your sort of like dealing with these very friendly
but
drakes.
Again, like Ozra pointed out in the chat, I changed so much of that to remove like the bioessentialism and like make it more nuanced,
blood-curdling,
more factional.
Scream of pain.
And it all worked. I mean, at least for me, since that was, like you said, an arc built for V, like it all worked in regards to at least how I felt about V and her backstory and such. It didn't really matter the dragon part. It's just more about the relationship with her father and
exactly, and Siebert,
and Siebert,
booking it through the door.
Yeah, I pointed at the door.
Okay.
When I was gonna toss another beast.
it was a MacGuffin. That's what it is. The MacGuffin.
And
that's right.
Run through with her axe at the ready.
Sounds good. And V.
All right, so
you're also running, or are you trying to grab something?
We're getting through this area. Let's see, and then I think we get to like Tamba.
At least 5,000 gold pieces.
I'm okay with that. Cool. All of you sort of, are you guys gonna like slowly approach? This half elf woman goes, if you know how to assist in.
Oh right, the childbirth moment.
He grabs one of his
I'm gonna pause this real fast because C's here. Hi. You're done with your session 0?
You want me to join in the break?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, now would be a great time to take a break.
Yeah.
We're just about to get into the birthing chamber and the boss fight. And C's back. The birthing chamber. The chamber where they do births. Hello, everyone. Say hi to C. Oh God. Oh, C. Thomas. Mine. Mine.
I think that means we're taking a break, everybody. I wish I could, do the thing, but...
Oh, wait, no. Okay, yes, you're right, Erica. I'm so sorry. I should be the one to take us through the break screen. Okay, we're going to be back in just about 5 or 10 minutes. I believe... Is Haman also going to be joining us, or just you? Okay, cool. C's going to be joining us to finish out this rerun stream with some C commentary, some commentary C, one might say. We're going to be back in just about 5 or 10. Love y'all so much. Thank you for helping us out with the tech issues, and hopefully now that the producers are here, there will be no more. We love you so much. Be back soon.
We're live again! Welcome back, everyone. Connie asked me to MC us in, so I'm MCing us in. Welcome back to this Second Stranger finale rewatch. I'm here now in my part of the house, in my room. I'm very excited to be here. Hi, I'm here. I was in a session 0 for the Mythic Initiative Season 3. Wiggles my eyebrows for anyone who's interested in that. But now I'm here. And by here, I mean back in time. You asked me to MC, and then I said, yes, Connie, I can do that. But I'm not sure what your announcements are, or...
That's fine. Okay, I'll come back. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome back from break. Just as a reminder, we are raising funds during this stream throughout the week and also for our Saturday stream for Dee Dee's House. Dee Dee's House is the current project of the Trans Women of Color Collective. It is a project that provides temporary housing, safety support, and a safety net for unhoused Black and brown trans women in particular, but also queer, trans, and non-binary folk, generally speaking, who are experiencing housing instability or need to get out of an unsafe situation. They're currently trying to collect materials, funds, and supplies to help start up this house. So any amount really helps, and everything you donate to us, like we will give immediately. All of those funds will go directly to Dee Dee's House by the Trans Women of Color Collective. So yeah, in addition to fundraising for Dee Dee's House, of course, as you all know, this is the premiere rerun of The Second Stranger, as we are celebrating Second Stranger Week. Woo! We are on the back half of our premiere stream, and we may be skipping over some parts just, because it was a monster of a pilot episode for Transplaner, and we want to be mindful of that. Before we hop back in, just a reminder of content warnings for this premiere stream. They include fantasy violence for sure. We're about to get into the boss fight. Blood, gore, body horror, explosions, monsters and monstrosity, crude sexual and toilet humor. We're mostly past that. It was with the cat. Food and eating. We're also mostly past that. Child endangerment. This is a big one. Complex relationships, romance, apocalypse, detailed descriptions of pregnancy, childbirth, and panic attacks, and references to alcohol and substance use and storms. So we have just put the content warnings into the Twitch chat, and I'm about to copy and paste them into the YouTube chat as well. Give me 1 second, as it's a little over the character limit.
Our mods are so good to us on Chaos Saturdays. Truly.
I know. We're literally spoiled. Because the mods do all of
Jordan.
this.
Y'all are
We
truly
love you,
the
Keith and
best.
Jordan. Yes. And
Connie moved everything on my desk.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, like I took over and I left a mess.
Different.
I'm so sorry.
My frog plush got moved.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I moved the
Why
frog.
are my monitors so tall? What's happening?
I changed
told
like the
them not
height
to
of your
do it.
seat, the height of
know.
your monitor, where your things were, because I needed to make space for myself. Erica knew this. I almost tipped over multiple times in your chair because like your
Yes.
chair doesn't have the same kind of lumbar support that I'm used to.
Not the same lumbar support. And my camera's all... I have to wobble. There we go. Lumbar support.
All right, well, those are the content warnings. We can knock out the stream, and then we've got outro announcements again to remind you of what's happening for anniversary month. That's all.
Yay!
Yay. Okay,
Yay.
let's get into it. I believe we're ramping up to running into the birthing chamber.
The fact that you keep calling it that.
Do another gut-wrenching scream.
Okay, I was in chat but muted while I was in my session 0, and
kind of like
I did not hear our audio quality.
This one slopes at a 45-degree angle up.
It's slightly better than I remember.
And
It's actually not that bad.
reverberates through the rock.
Okay, I'm
walls
clipping a
of this
lot.
Chamber.
And I sound really
the shrieking
tinny.
is almost immediately accompanied
It's
by
not
a
that
chorus
bad,
of shouting
right?
voices.
It's
Quite a few people from beyond.
It's not that bad.
And why don't all of you make?
Do I sound better now?
As you begin to clamor
Yes.
I would hope
Connie.
so. I would
Yes,
hope to
you
God
definitely
so.
sound better now.
Okay. I feel like it captures the richness, the
14,
timbre of my voice
4.
better.
And
Yeah, the
fact that-
dynamic range of the mics we were using is not very
Dewey
good,
got a
right?
15.
No.
No.
And Manaya got a 14. Okay.
Oh
Dewey
my
and
God,
Manaya,
the
you
three
hear
of us are
distinct
using our
sentences,
inline,
but
Literally,
Roka
like,
and
headphones.
you just hear
Max and I
shouting.
use
So
it
Dewey
as
and
our
Manaya, the
mics
two of you
also.
hear something that sounds like this.
Yeah.
Now, I don't take kindly to being threatened. I don't take kindly to being lied to. Steward Kaken, the bleeding's not gonna stop. Calm yourself, child, and pray to the goddess for a just reward. Bleeding! Bleeding! Bleeding!
Look, you see the calculus in all of our player heads right now going like, what is this right now?
Okay.
I was playing like 7 different characters. That was the Kenku.
22.
Kenku
How
kid.
come that meme never picked up?
I think what this means is, Dewey, you're at the very back. And then
So
followed by
funny.
V. Who
I
got the higher
know.
one?
Oh my god.
Oka, right?
That was also like
Okay,
my
you lead
attempt
the
to do
charge
character
with
voices.
Manaya
I feel like I've gotten a lot
close
better
on
at character
your tail
voices
as
too.
Another
usually have.
soul-splitting
Yeah.
shriek cuts
I've, like,
through the
found my
cacophony of
voices.
making their words
Yeah.
even more jumbled and now impossible to decipher. And at the summit of this sloping
over here.
corridor that you finally enter out into, the ground levels out, widening into a, okay, you see this first,
Is there a little
magnificent
echo
chamber
too?
Yeah, I do hear a
lit
little
by
echo.
torches mounted in sconces
Where's
around
that
its
from?
entire perimeter.
Is it
This
from
chamber is
it from the
50
stream?
the
feet
stream? Is it like the
50 feet
stream
wide,
itself?
with vaulted stone ceilings that soar 20 feet into the air. An intricate, colorful mural.
Oh, it
is
was you?
carved
Oh, it was
all
C.
around
Okay.
the wall,
That's weird.
depicting a 15-foot
You must have some
tall
bleed from your
tiefling
headphones.
goddess, Nectus, with a broken
I turned off your noise
black horns and
canceling
lilac skin,
on your
playing
headphones.
a
Why
set
did you
of
do
bagpipes.
that?
Because I didn't like it. So if you turn it back on, probably it'll fix the bleed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking.
Did you
and hope
even
it
turn it
works.
off? I don't know how to turn it
I
back
pressed the button.
The music
It's next to the power
flowing
button.
out of this tiefling's
It says
bagpipes,
NC, noise canceling.
births 5 dragons. A gold one, a silver one, a brass one, a bronze one, and finally, elevated above the rest, a copper dragon.
Right, because of the metallic
smiling
dragon
down
thing.
upon
I was
you
doing like
from
all of the
the
metallic
shrine
dragons, and they
far
were
end
like
of this
they were
chamber.
like the copper dragon.
And
There was
this
gonna be like the
shrine, which is
bronze
directly across from
stewards,
you, Oka,
the
and everyone
gold
else,
stewards,
has
the silver
opulent
stewards. I was gonna have like
offerings,
things for all of them. That ended up like
jewels,
literally
and
not
treasures upon it.
like literally not
Worth
big a part of the
three,
story.
At a quick glance, anywhere from between 1,000 to 2,000 gold pieces in total. It is an opulent shrine, just completely decked out. And
Watching her
finally,
You're watching Erica like lock in.
I've got to go now.
Stone
I know what I'm doing this scene.
bearing a steel basin filled with water.
Right.
A copper dragonborn woman sits inside the basin, naked, screaming and splashing, and surrounded by 6 other people.
See your
2
face?
of them are teenagers. An
You're like,
extremely
what?
anxious halfling girl and a rather manic Kenku boy, both of them holding armfuls of clean towels as they kneel beside the woman in the bathtub. The remaining 4 people are adults. An older Fearbog man with
Right,
his
this
hand
was
on the halfling
truly a
girl's
wild
shoulder,
thing for you to
coaching
do,
her through
Connie,
an
by the
I
way.
know.
panic
I introduced like
attack.
10 characters, and like all
Yeah.
of them were doing different things. They're all screaming. There's a person giving birth.
Murmuring a
Oh, we were like,
I know. I'm like in my brain, like how?
handsome
Who?
half-elf
Okay.
woman with short black hair, shaking the
Right, Tomba.
straps of a tiefling man's overalls.
there he is.
Everyone
There's
is
There's
our
our
guy.
There's our guy.
The drakes rush forward.
Oh.
No one seems to have noticed any of you yet. What do you do? Oka, you have priority.
My first instance of I don't know. Connie, what the fuck do you think I'm gonna do?
Sit. Roll charisma. Roll intimidation.
Oh, I have a
Oh.
ad.
Oh, people are watching.
Okay, that's not my
That's your
strong
dump
suit.
stat. Yeah, I know.
Oh no, what did I roll?
What'd you get?
5 minus 2, so 3.
Oh yeah, you had
See,
a
I need
minus
you to know
charisma.
you were rolling horrifically during this pilot. I don't think you got above like a 10.
And
Classic
as they
Oka.
do,
Yeah.
Honestly,
the
makes
older
sense.
Fearbog man lifts his hand from the halfling girl's shoulder, turns around and says, "Oh,
Rolling wretched
Milo,
style.
Milo, who let you out from the? Hi, sees you.
My acting. Who let you out of the?
Okay. You twirl your sword a bit, and the Fearbog
It's really cute though.
Hi, Steward.
I'm glad you think so.
And at that, the half-elf woman who was shaking
Also,
this tiefling man's
The fact that your
overall
background,
straps
we did this
pauses
one time, I think, and then we
turns
didn't do
and
it again.
sees you
It's
and your
a
crew.
tablecloth.
I thought it was a bed sheet.
She looks completely confused.
It's a tablecloth bed sheet.
Tablecloth. Okay.
She
Yeah,
goes,
tablecloth bed sheet.
Who the hell are you?
I mentioned
two
this at the start of
chairs.
stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, it was propped up on 2 chairs because I was
You're
like, I
late
need
for
a background.
party, I think. Happy
Ignore my
alien.
cursor that came up.
You're not doing something really fucked up. Poppy?
Yes, that's me.
That's you?
Yes, says the tiefling. He looks terrified, and his tail's lashing, but he has a smile on. He says, yes, this is just a big misunderstanding. Look, if you put me down, hi, Steward, I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this. And this half-elf
telepathy.
woman, this high steward, looks at you, Oka, and says, you know this man?
You know,
He's late for
it's a silly
party.
concept to be like forced to help someone give birth. Like,
Yeah.
out of all
Yeah.
the things,
I do.
that's
To
not that
start
bad,
a like
really.
high fantasy grim dark show, and you're like, okay,
and
so there's a
this
woman
half-elf
giving
goes,
birth,
"You've done
yeah, and now you're here.
And,
Help! I'm helping against my will. I'm sorry.
and Dal goes, and he
A V
coughs
for the
bit,
first
and the
arc and a
half-elf,
half,
who's very
at least.
goes, I assume you're hired swords here to rescue him. Well, let me tell you, he came here of his own volition, and he lied to us.
Everybody lies once in a while. There's no reason to get upset with them.
Exactly.
The V voice,
My
Erica. Oh, I'm
Like I said,
so
there's
weirdly
a
emotional about it.
perfectly round and rotund explanation for all of this.
It's so
Explanation
like the
for
characters
the
change
fact
so
he
much that
lied
just
about
seeing
it
any of
being
these
an
characters in their first
experienced
incarnations,
doula.
like, oh, this is so many feels.
Yeah.
It was less of a lie, more of a fun exaggeration.
Telepathy, on the other hand, exactly the
Aelin,
same.
who's having
Yeah.
a baby?
Yep.
The dragon
I forgot that
woman in the
Oka's
top
also drunk in this.
screams.
You're drunk during this.
As Kenku boy goes, baby.
Good lord.
And this half-elf woman goes, you're here for him, aren't you? But you're not gonna get him. We don't take kindly to those who try to lie. And
I feel like my acting in this, because I'm like, I have so many notes and I'm like so nervous, is like Gal Gadot trying to act in
No,
any of like the
you're
Superman
not that
or
bad,
Wonder
Connie.
Woman
Don't
movies.
do that to yourself.
Yeah,
Don't do that to
You're
yourself.
here
You are miles better.
Why, thank you.
Joey looks, he grabs one of his notebooks and flips through it.
okay?
You aren't seriously
Sure.
considering helping them.
I don't want to fight them.
Well, that is
Well, as a friend of our friend, yeah, we might be able to get some money out of this if charged for our services.
Money.
I can't believe you fucking
said that. We're not usually a murderous group. And we will not be, but you will not be leaving our lair. Once you've learned of who we are, you've learned of, I don't even know how you made your way past the Guardian. But
Oh, right, the laughing statue.
now that you've seen
Yeah,
it,
just
Yeah.
very
tell a
fun.
joke.
You know, usually I appreciate such japes and jokes, but my wife is giving birth, and it's a complicated
Yeah,
birth,
the
and I'm barely
hilarious thing about this
this woman-
is my personality traits that I
I'm
wrote down for
sorry,
Tamba
I
is that she's easygoing and funny.
Oh,
Because, like, again, I modeled her off of a copper dragon, and, like, copper dragons in D&D are, like, humorous, and they're lighthearted.
Giving a birth
But,
to-
she comes off as such a hard ass here, because she's so stressed out.
I mean,
That's fair. You immediately put her in one of the most stressful
I know.
situations she could be in.
Yeah, her wife is giving birth.
Chaos. Yes, Oka.
I think maybe Oka
Chaos.
actually has.
Okay.
I can text you.
Oh,
Oka.
right.
Okay, that sounds good.
I
Yeah, why
remember
don't you text me a
this.
reason?
Spoilers for
while
Oka's
this is
backstory. They
happening,
helped their
Why don't all
their
of you just take
sister-
a general perception check for
they
me?
helped their sisters when they were
Does
born.
anyone have medicine as a skill?
I can't believe I knew that in this episode. Wild poll. Has
17.
C.
21.
17, 21,
16.
16.
Sorry,
Okay.
I was busy texting.
Everyone else rolling really good and
17.
see. Oh,
19.
not bad.
17, that's not bad.
19? Cool. I just got your
19.
reason. And
We
I'm,
all got
I'm okay with that.
a-
Cool. All of you
we
sort
all-
of, are you guys
That
gonna
was a
like
pretty good roll
slowly
for everyone.
approach?
Yeah, that was pretty
This
good round.
half-elf woman goes,
Also, I don't know if anyone
how to
has noticed, but I keep
assist.
doing this. I keep like rubbing. Oh, it's paused because there's a ad on someone's screen. So I'm just gonna skip it.
give
Okay.
birth. Perhaps we can work out some sort
scream?
of agreement. This
Mine.
child needs to
I'm
be
getting
born.
ads, and if no one
Right.
else is getting
Well,
ads, then it just comes up as
How
being
much
paused.
does it value to you?
Fascinating.
Yeah.
How much do
Yeah,
you
but if
value
anyone
your
has
own
noticed
life?
why I'm doing this, it's because I'm
Answer
in a
that.
tiny,
Life for a
terrible,
life.
shitty little chair,
At least
and it's like
5,000 gold pieces.
killing my neck. It was
5,000
killing my traps, so I was
It's
like trying to
literally,
rub
like,
it out.
Fine.
Like
5,000 gold then.
a school chair for
protect my wife
children
and
Literally like a,
From,
a
like,
tiny school chair. For children. Yeah.
1990.
I will give you
I don't
Yeah.
even know why it was in our house.
I don't know
That's all
either.
the reason I
It was
need.
my
Let's go,
like desk
cousin.
chair for the longest time.
Great.
Papa's here.
The four of
Also,
you
this
walk
was
forward,
before
right?
either of us
You
got top
approach-
surgery.
You approach
Yeah.
the basin, and the other
Or
people
Max,
sort of
like
look
this.
at
Yeah.
you, like,
Or Max
Yeah.
before
themselves.
anyone got top
Pre-T.
surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-T.
Are you? Sorry, I just.
Oh,
need a
so you
minute.
weren't here
She
earlier.
turns
You couldn't
around
hear. We were
and
talking about how
the
Max's voice
slopes
dropped
her on
like
the
2
back,
octaves
and
by
the
mistake.
cat
Yes.
goes,
Oh, it
Yes.
did.
Birth.
Yeah.
Birth. And
You know how
as,
people do
you
those
know, the
really
four of
sweet
you,
like
get up to
pre-T
the
like
basin,
voice transition
this
videos?
dragonborn woman goes,
Max
"Ah!"
through Second Stranger
Finally she
is
speaks in a way
really
that isn't just
it like is
screaming.
really
She's
sweet.
Yeah,
One
it's
way or
really
another,
emotional for me actually, like
this
to listen to
child is
Baby
coming
Max
out of
and then
me,
how Max
and it
sounds
can't
in
be
like Arc
stopped.
8.
It's destiny. And based on your perception,
No,
from
actually, I do
earlier,
think I do think I came up with the
upward, you
precepts
feel the ground
before
shake.
this because that was a reference to Fate.
That's Connie. That's
as we're
fucked.
walking
No,
towards-
I do now. Yeah, I'm positive now because I
I'm-
definitely remember writing that line on purpose and like
I'm
ending
gonna
it
turn
with like
it
this
to
baby's coming out of me,
Dewey.
it's destiny,
when
and that's
I
a
turn to
reference to
Dewey
back
and
when
say,
the stranger was a
"Put
monster
her
baby
roll
that would
to
like
the
explode in
dining table."
Dake as an eggshell. That's a reference to
Go
the
grab
fact that the
the
monster
doll
baby is destined to be
as
born.
I,
That Oblivion is destined to destroy Andake.
This is our ransom. You help ensure the safe delivery of my child, and we'll let him have you. But until then, and the half-elf woman just sort of holds him up with one arm. Dal goes, "Whoa!"
You really are kind of a
You know,
mastermind
usually
sometimes,
I
Connie.
enjoy being in the air.
Yeah.
It frightens me like
Oh,
this.
While that's happening,
much.
I'm going to go to the half-end.
I love planning things
that's having
about the
panic
end that won't pay off for like
attack,
years.
and aid
And
in
years
calming her down.
and years and like planting the seed
What are the rest of
literally
you
in like
doing? I'll
arc
give you
1
each,
episode
like,
1.
a quick
Well, we will get
response
this during our
to the
chaos
shaking
rewatch
of
too.
the earth before something else happens.
I think Oka was walking
else
forward, but they're gonna stop a
Okay.
few feet away from the dais when the ground starts shaking.
Okay, sounds good. Dewey?
Is it time? Is it the
Do
shaking?
we
Oh no!
Instinctually,
Well, actually, technically, something falls
leaps over
from
to the
the
side of the teenage
ceiling.
girl, to protect her.
actually.
Sounds good. V?
Yeah,
Oh my God, Dewey
I am
going to protect someone
going
who's, like,
to-
his
V is
daughter's
going
age?
to, look around for any potential cause and just like, I think freeze for like just a second to like scope the place out before going to the woman giving the birth.
Excuse me, sounds good. And as you approach the woman by the basin, Oka, you're standing at the very back. You're very on guard. Manaya and Dewey, the two of you are already at the basin. When the shaking intensifies,
Like some sort of hiccups or some sort of like burp attack is happening with
break
me.
away from the ceiling, cascading onto the floor in thick plumes of dust and rock. And then a loud and extremely loud, incessant
Oh, right.
snapping noise resounds
Yes,
from
this is the
everywhere
cataclysm.
and nowhere at once. A sound like
Technically, you're inside a
monostones
cavern, so you don't get
being
to see the
slashed
stars go
by
out.
hedge trimmers.
I do at the
or
end,
the
I think,
tendons
or at the
of a
start of the
giant
episode,
being
too.
Yeah.
gutted with a
No, at the end of
saw
this.
made of bone, or sutured skin popping.
Is the music
It is
playing?
a horrible,
Yeah, I think so. Wait, let's bump it.
horrible musical noise.
Where's the music?
I'll give you like a
I
quick
said live
beat
music.
to react.
You said there was another
It's
small
real
child
quiet,
here.
I think.
Yeah, the Kenku boy.
Yeah, I'm scooping them both up and like,
Man, I don't hear it at all.
Noise!
Maybe it
Loud!
comes in
loud!
later.
What is loud?
Maybe it does. Yeah.
and
But
they're
the
under
music
me,
that
and
plays
I'm
behind this
sheltering
scene
them from
and
the
in the
falling rock.
fight,
In the podcast.
good.
hmm
Anyone else?
Connie
Just a quick
made it.
one beat response.
it's your music.
I'm gonna-
Yeah,
I'm
it's my
gonna
music.
cast
It's like.
Mage Hand. Oh, sorry, go Max.
And then it-
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and just like try to, if
My
anything
first
falls
use of
over the
Mage Hand
woman
for
giving birth,
everything in
like,
this.
just swat it, try
First
to
of
swat it away.
many.
It's probably not strong enough to like stop a rock.
We
but
want another
strong enough
cat
to, like,
spotted.
just protect and like push it off into a different direction.
Sounds good.
Baby
Dewey?
boy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna spread my wings and cover over as far up
Oh
with
my god, Baba.
on
Baba,
Manaya
be
and the
serious.
kids.
The cataclysm is happening.
Sounds good. And Oka?
Oh, here it is.
I think Oka's
there it is.
frozen.
Here's
to
the
this
music.
Spot. I don't think they do anything.
Sounds good.
But
Great.
they can't do anything.
I love all that, all of these responses. And as each of you sort of like, V, you cast Mage Hand, Manaya, you protect people, Dewey, you're like, and Oka, you're like, and as
Dewey, you're
Max's face!
right?
Dewey, you're like,
Stones
okay,
litter
you're
from
like,
the ceiling, clattering against the metal
Oh, yeah, the
birthing
music.
basin. A few rocks even splashing into the bloody water. But V, your mage hand is dexterous and it helps with shielding this dragonborn woman. And the Fearbog man lets out a cry of alarm, flinging his body over the basin, shielding this woman from further damage. And behind the basin, the coins and gems atop the shrine spill onto the floor as a crack split the colorful mural on the wall, and the basin rattles against the dais, threatening to topple onto its side.
Yes.
And then the wall behind the now overturned shrine, as it smacks onto the ground,
Connie's cursor on Erica is
explodes.
really funny.
At least, that's what it feels like. As chunks of rock and stone bash inward, the people on the dais scream, and cold, wintry desert air blasts into the chamber as the outside world is suddenly and violently exposed. The first thing any of you notice is that the sky has no stars. Gone are the hundreds of thousands.
Oh, sorry, I have another fucking ad.
Connie?
I know, okay.
Of stars that usually adorn the night sky of Indake. Gone are the constellations, gone are the 8. Everything beyond the birthing chamber is as blank and voidless, you imagine, as when the universe was first expelled from the loins of creation. The second thing you notice is the monster. A 10-foot tall mass of oozing, pulsing, rotting flesh hovers in the air before you. Mouths the size of watermelons teem with sharp, gnashing teeth, rivulets
That's such a
of
weird
bile
way to describe
skating
it.
from the peeling
Oh, but
boils
so
and
evocative.
blisters that cover
Thank
this
you.
creature's fetid body. And a
Eat your heart
web
out, Last of Us.
animated steel chains coils
Honestly.
around this nightmare, seeming to maintain the structural integrity of its shifting, boneless form. Chains lashing, this creature opens its many
These
mouths
creatures were
and
so
emits a
iconic too.
grotesque
Like they
screech that
really
sounds
appeared
like
only
cross
a few
between
times
crying
through,
infant
but I think
and
they
a
really
prisoner being
defined kind of
tortured.
the like monstrosity
Two
of everything
more
that we
monsters
faced in all 8
crest
arcs.
the mound.
These are
Each
shepherd's
roughly
babies.
the size of a dog, appearing on either side of this creature, one on the left, one on the right. These new monsters are pale, hairless, and bipedal, like extremely muscular plucked chickens, except
There it
instead of a
is.
neck
There
or a
it is,
beak, they just
chicken
have
boys,
a huge,
chicken boys.
fleshy
There it
mouth
is.
full of sharp, rending teeth.
And
The skin
your
was
one
thick
single
and
word
durable.
description defined them
Yeah,
for their
chicken
entire
boys.
legacy.
Muscular plucked chickens. Chicken boys wretched.
Silence. Muttering. I think they're like all of their muscles go tight.
Okay?
Like definitely bad luck. Definitely bad luck. This is
And now,
gonna be really bad luck.
yes, Manaya?
Manaya's going to continue to shelter the children, turning them away from the things that just appeared, and
Okay.
and just like whispering, "Don't look, look at me.
Okay?
I'm here for you." And glancing over at seeing Oka frozen, Manaya is going to sort of cover their ears and yell like with a loud ship deckhand's voice to be heard over the waves. I'm going to say, "Oka,
Okay.
get your shit together. Get your weapons ready. We have children to protect."
Roll initiative.
It looks at their. Okay, great.
And then we're going
That's
to
a
take a
great
break.
initiative, Connie.
But first I want to get your initiative numbers down.
Like we took 2 breaks because we did 9
5.
things.
9.
That's
Okay,
why.
Dee 5,
Yeah.
Oka 9, Dewey 6.
3
Jesus.
things
Okay,
per
Manaya?
section.
13.
Okay. poor performance all around.
Not the best initiative roll.
No, not the best initiative.
We're gonna get our butts kicked for a little while
And then when
first.
we're back, it'll be the final battle, and we're gonna conclude our pilot
second break.
episode. Yeah, so everyone, why don't you just hit that mute button? I'm gonna transition us to be right back.
We had no idea
Thanks for
what
watching,
we were
y'all.
doing.
We didn't because we all had to mute constantly.
Welcome
we had
back,
to
everybody.
mute during break.
Yeah, we had
Hello,
absolutely
hello, hello. Yay,
no
yay,
idea
yay.
what we were doing.
It's
This
so
honestly
excited for
before
this
like any of us knew
Flesh
that there was any
baby
kind of
battle
like
chain sequence. It's about to be lit. But before we get started, just a quick shout out to Ben and Dan in the chat for pointing out that monitors do indeed shed. So I was correct. I also
my gay
glimpsed
farmer
someone
dads.
asking what everyone's subclasses
Ben
were.
and Dan.
I
in the
was
chat. It's
correct.
true, we
Not
don't have
me
it on
saying
open,
that
haven't
to,
mentioned
like,
it yet,
prove
but
a
hopefully
point
we'll
about
find out this
something.
battle, this combat.
It's so
And yeah,
fucking
let's get
Aries
right
of
back
me.
into it. Okay, so based on the initiative order,
oh my god, Cricket.
The
what is what is wrong
person
with her?
to go.
I know, she was just like, oh my god, our
not a
housemate.
person at
Our
all.
housemate was like,
It's going to be
Not
these
there, I
two
Kara would,
smaller
like, walk
but
around
equally
behind.
vicious-looking monsters. Okay,
Okay.
Each of them let out kind of a bloodthirsty squeal, and one of them is going to dash forward, right? And it's going to try to launch itself at Manaya on the dais. It's very fast, even though it's
Wait,
small.
let me just
It
Foley
uses
work
two
for
little
this.
bipedal like scurry. It's going to launch and try to bite you.
The fact that
Try to
you're
sink its
almost
nasty,
like in
gnarly,
sync with your
sharp,
past self.
bendy teeth in your body. And your armor class is 15, correct?
Yes.
oh, thanks for
Does
hanging out,
not
Turtle
make it,
here.
but it does sort of it latches onto your arm. So make a strength contest against this thing versus its dex, let's say.
10.
That is not sufficient. It remains latched onto your arm, and you will take damage at the top of your turn
I'm
from
gonna
it.
actually use inspiration to reroll that. That was
Okay.
a low roll.
Yeah, sounds good.
I have my last inspiration for now. Okay, 18.
That is just sufficient. You are able to cast this tiny little horrific chicken monster off of your body.
See,
and it
you're
leaps
double
back down
like
to the ground
an
with a ton of
18 is
ah!
just sufficient.
I can't really do a menacing monster voice, so just pretend that was scary. And the next thing to go is
So
called
you made the attempt and then said,
monster voice. Come on,
it's
you
compatriot,
throw
the other
so
skinless, featherless biped creature with huge
I can't.
and try to attack V in the same way because V is closest. And
V's art is
V,
really
your armor
cute.
class is
I
a
really-
yeah, I love
16,
that
correct?
piece.
hit the top. That's really
Does
cute.
not hit, but the same thing happens. It tries to latch on. Why don't you make a strength versus its dex?
Because I like homebrewed their mechanics a bit, so even if they miss, something
16.
interesting
That is
still
sufficient. You
happens.
also
It would have been
managed
like they
to
would
shake it
latch
off,
onto you, and like
both of
basically
these
been like
little
lamprey
creatures
sucker
sort of
onto you.
leer up at you. They're very
they-
close
you would
to the
take, like,
basin,
damage at the top of
and
your
you
turn.
see the Kenku go, ah! It can hear
You're
because
already
like
doing
its eyes are being
interesting
Even
things.
from like Arc 1 Episode 1, yeah, I was like a
From
miss.
arms
Just a
to
miss
Maya, this Kenku could
sucks. I don't
hear
know. I was
these
like, that's
creatures
boring. I want like even
snarling,
misses to like feel interesting in combat.
desirous of your flesh.
Big brain
Let's
Connie.
say.
From
And
5
next
years
up
ago.
is going to be
Yeah.
something else entirely.
right.
Y'all did not roll very well on initiative.
Right, the tooth guys, I think.
Oka.
Sorry, I have another ad.
Connie, I'm gonna need you to pay.
Oka,
Okay,
make
not
a...
really, but-
Actually, no. What's your new armor class? I know we like redid your stats at some point. It's not 14, is it? 15! Okay, great. You have a 15 armor class. Let's see.
What's gonna happen to me?
It
'Cause
does
it's a
not
ranged
hit,
attack roll
but
against you.
something from the
Okay.
darkness beyond this huge floating mound of flesh and blood and pus, something from the darkness beyond whizzes
Oh, you said
whizzes
puss.
in
Puss.
To this birthing room, let's say.
Oh, is that-
and
was that the
narrowly
origin of-
whizzes
No,
past
no,
your
it
head
comes-
and
it's
you
later,
watch it
it's
slide
later.
down next to your foot, and you look down and it's a razor sharp tooth, about this big, maybe like almost a foot long, sharp
I like
razor sharp
Connie.
tooth.
I very subtly you were like, it's kind of like this long.
Next up is going
You
to be
like, yes. yeah, you like it's like
That's
this long.
dramatic.
I made it bigger.
It might
You're like,
not go
you're like,
next, it might be
this.
monster. Go for it, Manaya.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had this fight was fucked up.
Okay.
Because I had the chicken
Refresh me on
boys,
who
I
all
had the
is here.
flesh warper.
Okay, so it's
I had
all the people in the middle. There's
two
this
tooth
dragonborn
spitters.
woman,
That those were like the
sitting atop-
backstage
she
names
is-
for
Yep.
them. In the
She's
darkness, they
giving
were
birth.
hidden.
And
They had
then
advantage on their
nearby
attack rolls
is
against.
this high
Why
steward,
would you
is
do
what
that to us?
She was called this half elf.
'Cause I was like, oh, there's
muscular
four of
woman
you,
holding
so
Bella
it's probably
Poppy
gonna
Slice.
I'm a sorcerer, baby sorcerer. I have like no
And then
defense
there's
or
this
barely any
shaved-head
HP.
Human.
Most of this
an
early
older
campaign,
fearbold,
I
and two
like
teenagers
I scathed that
that
with
came through
1
and
HP. and
Yeah, I feel
greed.
like you were the one who goes down
And
the
of course, your
most.
compatriots.
Oh yeah.
And the Kirku was the one that was originally consoling.
I don't remember
the
what my
halfling.
original HP was, but it
the
was so low.
Fearbolg was.
If I got hit
Fearbolg,
twice, I was
okay.
pretty much done.
They all look extremely
Yeah.
terrified
V
and
was
very
squishy.
shocked that their wall was destroyed and their shrine toppled and these monsters now menacing you. Just as a reminder, these two little chicken-like monsters
we
are
must have-
right
we were
are
really
within melee, are right in front of you and V.
Bad this
huge
episode.
floating mass of flesh and puss has not yet taken a turn.
Is
but
at
it's
some
maybe
point-
Yeah.
it's within range. You can shoot
In
with a ranged
Arc
weapon,
1?
or you could use your movement
I
to get
think
up to and
Oka
hit it
rolls
within
a
melee.
negative
and whatever
1.
launched
Mm-hmm.
a
At some point?
projectile tooth is out of
Yeah,
range.
you had a charisma roll
Or
where
so
you
can
like were
presume. It's
deep in the
darkness
negatives.
Beyond the butte.
Yeah. Like really bad.
So I'm going to pass these children off to the Fergor,
What was that?
the person next to me.
The Fearbolg.
Oh, the Fearbolg.
Fearbolg.
Yes, the Fearbolg.
Fearbolg.
Mm-hmm.
Let me write that down.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass them off and say, you know, like, watch them, you know, whatever.
The
Oh, it's
Fearbolg
the
looks at you and
That's
says,
right.
"Yes,
The Queen?
I will.
The queen.
You are you going to protect us?"
We got nat 1 minus 2.
Uh,
Right, that was when the Queen
With a
threatened your
stern
life.
nod
Yeah,
and
your
a
legacy.
swift movement, I'm going to
That one
whip
minus
around,
2.
standing up to my full height,
Okay.
bring out my axe,
Okay.
and slam it down onto
the
this
rotating transplanter
plucked
logo.
chicken.
I know, I was
Sounds good. Make
so
an attack roll.
proud of
This
that
thing is pretty
graphic.
fast.
I was
It's,
like,
darting
ooh, it
all
looks
around,
so
and its height
cool
looks pretty tough.
rotating.
It
So,
kinda
yeah,
does
make an
look
attack
so
roll.
It
cool.
looks really cool rotating, right?
Yeah.
Also, I animated that by myself. I like didn't put a filter or use an app
14.
for it. I like
That is
hand
not
animated
sufficient.
that.
That
In
won't
Vegas.
be
Like I
okay.
hand animated that. Like,
You can-
all
we
of
have
this is
inspiration.
handmade. None of this.
Not
This
any-
I know this is like
I
Baby's
think
First
what this
Pride
means,
overlay.
However, though,
But I
as
made
you
all of
slam
this from
the axe
scratch.
down,
Like none of it was an
starts
app.
off
I
to
didn't
the
use
side, it
Canva.
skitters
No
off to the
templates.
side, but
I
it
like
seems to be rather
drew
intimidated
and I
by your
made the
huge axe.
beveling.
Doesn't
I
seem
like
very keen
did
on
the
fighting you
gradient.
anymore, and it turns its
Yeah,
beady,
all of that was by
beady little,
hand.
like pure black gaze upon V.
The background too. I did take like a pride flag from Google, but then I put
is
like the
there-
graphic. I put like the textures
Manaya,
on
why
it.
don't you tell us what your subclass is?
Since I've been doing so much
I'm
3D
a
work, I was
fighter,
actually like looking at the
with
textures, being
subclass
like,
of brute, I think from Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah,
good.
and yeah, I know that is
How
so
does
much
that
work, and I
flavor?
probably could
Maybe
have like
let's say the
used a bunch
axe
of pre-mates, but
slams
I
into
didn't.
the ground and it
know.
We didn't
cracks
know.
it.
We didn't.
I don't think
momentarily
Canva existed
barge
at the
into
time, or like
earth
any
and
a lot of
struggle
these
to pull
resources
it
that
back
people
out.
have now like
But,
didn't
the
exist at the
effort
time,
to pull it out
specifically
is
for
not
AP
as much
streaming.
as
I
one
know
would
now people make
expect,
like AP
as
streaming
your muscles
packs,
bulge
they like
underneath
sell
your trench
overlays
coat,
and
let's
stuff,
say.
but like there
Do you
really
get
wasn't
another
that for the
attack
AP space at least. Like there were people selling
Okay, so that's
stream
your turn.
overlays for like video game streamers,
Sounds good.
but like really
next
not
up,
for
we are going
APs.
to
Yeah.
pass it on to that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kai. I don't even think
V on
Canva
deck.
existed at the time.
After V is going to
And
be
if it did,
Oka,
it
but
certainly
before
wasn't
V,
used very
it's going to
often
be
or
that
very
huge
much by
thing made of
especially
flesh
people.
and chains.
it did exist at the time,
this
but it was
thing is
not
going to
anything.
It was not the
what
Canva that, yeah, no, it didn't have any of the tools or like the library that it has now. Yeah.
To just sort of
I remember
float
using it for some
slowly
Instagram posts
until it's
at
about
one
like
point, like,
halfway
pre this.
into the entrance.
But it was like
and it's
just
within,
like adding a
15
little
feet
bit
or
of
so
graphic on top of
you,
an
Manaya,
image.
and UV,
Yeah.
and I need the
Yeah, we
two
had
of
it. I
you,
did all
as
of this
well as the
by hand.
fear
You know,
bowl
like I
to
researched.
make a
I looked at so
constitution
many
save
YouTube
for
videos
V.
about how to stream and all that.
Why does it smell bad?
And the party is like party level 3.
13.
11.
And eventually I do inspiration counters,
okay.
like stars on the sides of
V,
your
that is
borders.
not
I also
quite
had
enough
like
to
a
cut it, but
incentive
Manaya did,
counter,
and the
and I
Fearbolt
learned how to
also made to
hotkey.
save.
I like
Manaya and Fearbolt, both of you
installed a
feel like
script
this
that like every time I hit a
strange,
key, the counter would go up.
It's not stench, even though
That's
as it gets
cute.
closer, it does smell bad.
That's pretty
but
good.
it's this weird, like shuddering sensation in your body, like you know, like when you have like when you're
Canva made in 2013. Yeah, but it really is. I feel like it's only really become as dominant as it is now in the space of the
very
past like
uncomfortable.
5 years.
And V, as this
even though it's been
ripple
around for
goes
over
down
10.
your body, roll a D100 for me.
A D100.
Oh my god, yeah, the flesh warper. Oh my god, I remember this.
Oh, right.
Where-
Tell us
This
about the
magic.
flesh warper, Connie.
There are
'cause-
100 different things that can happen to you.
This is the first
So-
time I'm hearing the actual name of it.
Yeah.
Flesh Warper. Yeah, sorry, I have another ad. Let me just skip it.
Now-
Okay. So all of these monsters, except for the
If you don't
Tooth
find it, I can
Spitters,
roll it
are
for you.
actually based off of
87,
like their appearance
87.
at least,
87,
and like
87, 87.
the basics of their stat block are based off of actual
as-
D&D monsters. I forget what this was. This is definitely a demon. This
As
is a demon of some
the-
kind in like
this
the monster
rippling
manual from
sensation
like the
travels
Escape from
speed up for
Avernus like supplement. I want to say it doesn't really
stops at
matter,
your
but it's basically like a big mound
and
of flesh
all of you
like with
see
tons of
as
chains
your
around it.
ears
And
pulse, they get longer.
I
than
created-
they even are. Than they are.
I'm pretty
already.
sure it was
They
me, though
grow
it might have been in the actual
feathers,
stat
and
block,
they
but and I
become
might have added
wings.
my own ideas. But I definitely
your
remember
flesh is
creating a
warped
chart
by the
of
presence
like
of this
ways that it
creature,
can change your
And
body.
you now have a flying speed
And
of 5
It
feet.
specifically changes your body because these were emissaries of the bodiless. So like the three, yes.
Yeah.
So like that's why there was
Yeah.
body horror
Yeah,
for
bro.
these monsters. Like they were all like there's like teeth and there's flesh and there's eyes and they have to change your physical form. And then I came up with different ideas for like emissaries of
And now this creature,
the heartless
is
and the
going
mindless
to
too.
Just
Like different
spray. It's gonna
different
open
types
all of its
of
mouths,
empty
and
monsters.
It's very
Almost
pussy,
like a
lesions on its body, and
inverted-
it's gonna
Wait,
spray
go
bile.
back.
Okay.
It's gonna
Pussy
spray-
lesions. It was here.
Okay.
Sorry.
There are 100 different things that can happen to
Sorry.
you right now.
No, it's all good. Yeah, no.
Great.
What
you
am I
don't find
think
it,
the
I
most
can roll it for
important
you if you
is
want.
87.
this episode.
87.
87,
Yes.
87, 87.
Also, these feather
as
ears.
the-
I remember
this
fan art of
rippling
this.
sensation
Yeah,
travels
me too.
up for you. And it stops at your ears, and all of you see as your ears pulse. They get longer than they are already. They grow feathers and they become wings. As your flesh is warped by the presence of this creature, and you now have a flying speed of 5 feet.
What?
Yeah, you look. Yeah.
Someone's
One
gonna
of
have
them
to change.
turned your ears into feathers.
Yep.
Someone's gonna have to redo their fan art.
And and now this creature is going to just spray. It's gonna open all of its mouths, and it's very pussy, lesions on its body, and it's gonna spray bile.
Look up for me.
Just gonna spray.
Pussy.
Day one
Yo,
breaking the Twitch
I did not
TOS.
even
Day
realize.
one.
It's gonna open its pussy. Spray bile. So V.
No, the
and
sexual
Anaya,
and toilet
I
humor
need
is
y'all
still
to
here, it
make
seems.
a dexterity saving throw.
God. Okay. I can't with you anymore.
The human.
That's
18,
so
go
funny.
ahead.
20.
18 and 20.
Unnatural 20.
Bonking,
that is both
bonking Connie
sufficient.
from the past.
I
I literally didn't even realize it though, like as it was coming out of my mouth.
The two of you are going to take.
Slip of the
Oh
tongue.
boy, my lord.
Hey,
3,
don't you dare say that.
4.
But
So
Uh-huh.
4 points of acid damage.
But yeah, I had
Dive
like
out
different
of the way,
monster
but some of the
designs for
acid,
each of like the aspects of the
splashes onto your
stranger.
clothes and singes-
And I had this whole thing. The reason
singes
why
through
Shepherd
the
is called
patches it made
Shepherd
on your fine vest, V. And it singes,
I had this
a
whole
few
thing
holes in your black trench coat. And
about
you notice
Dr.
that the
Aluso
human
being
person
the
with a
shepherd
shaved head
of the
sort
empty.
of throws himself
So
in
like all
front
of these
the
monsters had
bathtub
ranks.
and shields
There was
everyone
like, oh
from
my god, I
getting,
was like fiddling with like
attacked
the
by
lowest
bile.
tier were like
Shields, not the
grass,
two of you,
and
but,
then there were
their
ewes and
compatriots, let's say, and you
rams,
see them
and then
go
the shepherd,
as
the
like
shepherd
their
and their flock.
back is
So
seared
like,
through
and there was like a
acid. They take
pecking
the full
order.
brunt
Like the
of the
higher
damage.
ranks would
They're still
eat,
standing,
like
but they
physically
don't
eat
look
and
great.
feed on the
Like,
lower
boils
orders.
begin to erupt on their skin.
Jesus, Connie.
Okay.
That's
And
Yeah.
next
not
up is
creepy at
going
all.
to be Oka
Yeah.
with.
Those poor chicken boys.
Wait, it's going to be V with Oka on
just-
deck.
The chicken
Yeah.
boys were the bottom of the
Right.
They were the bottom,
pole,
yeah.
weren't? Yeah.
Yeah, they were the bottom of the
I'm going to
pyramid.
use my newfound
Shepherd
friends,
of the
my
End is
wings,
really-
to hover
really
5 feet
kinda
in
hot,
the
though.
air.
Yeah, that's kind of
you
a hot
will-
title, right?
You'll be moving out
Shepherd
of
of the
melee
empty,
range
shepherd of the
technically
nothing.
from the two little chickens, so they will have an attack of opportunity against you as
Okay,
you
wait,
as you
fine,
hover.
never mind, fine, ruin my
You
fun.
can
why
take
won't you?
it, but I think you have like 19 hit points.
You can take
I
it.
couldn't take the damage. I didn't have enough HP to take
You
any
would have killed
damage.
her.
Okay, so I'm going to use one sorcery point to use twinned magic to
Sounds
cast chromatic orb.
Great.
Some fire
first
damage, fire orb.
Oh my God,
So he's gonna just.
It was my only attack spell I had.
I remember thinking like, wow, Erica's like really
Okay.
spamming chromatic
She's
orb.
going to.
All of my
cause
spells
one
were made
fire
to
orb,
break into
and then-
things.
Sorry, another ad.
Jeez.
Skip.
And
I know,
kind of
I know.
It floats
Was this
to the
happening in the
side
first part?
while another one pops up.
No,
and she
I
like
don't
sort
know
of
why.
juggles them too, spinning in the circles. Sees the dog or the chicken creature. In the
But hey, at
Two
least
of the
this.
three computers must not have ads
She like
on
grabs the
YouTube.
one and just like flings
Yeah.
it on the chicken like right in front of her to try to
Honestly,
attack her.
it's giving us
and then
revenue because we're
fling
watching
it at the other
YouTube.
one that now is interested in.
We just
Okay,
made a
both-
quarter of a
both-
quarter of a
I like
quarter
that
of
we're
a
calling them
cent.
chickens. Yeah. So is that an attack roll?
Yes.
Go for it.
Oh, there's my.
Go for
I
it.
know,
Like
our
it's a
shorthand.
Did you just get it, Max?
Oh my god, I don't know.
Go for it like a ground
Embarrassing.
They're pretty wily.
12 and 18.
There's this
One
very
misses, one
funny
hits.
like
Okay, so
moment. I don't even know if it's in
I would like to hit the one
the
like right.
series, like in arc
Like how you can
5.
miss
I
that
see
one.
a
Sounds
giant
good. So
fucking
let's say the one, let's
gopher
resolve
out
the
the
one that hits
window,
first. So why don't you roll
and it
damage?
completely. I'm not in the scene, but it does like.
I
You
did this
can
at a
see
level
me
1
seeing
spell
the
slot, so it was
grandpa.
3d8.
I think I remember. I think it was like arc 5 or something. Like it's like
Yeah.
later in the season.
What are you-
Yeah, go for it like a groundhog.
Thank you for
So
the
I'm
follow.
playing one of the
Gopher.
dice that's really
Go
hard to
for
watch.
it like a groundhog.
13 points of damage.
Yeah.
Fire
Oh.
damage.
Oh, someone in chat
Okay,
was.
I have to do some math here. Yeah, it does not look
chicken.
very good. So why don't you describe to me what it looks like as you fry this chicken?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like right in the head, and it's just gonna like sizzle up into a giant cacophony of flames over its face, and you just like hear terrible screaming sounds. It almost looks like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat when they ripped off the face.
Ugh. Okay. Yeah, very descriptive.
And then slowly but surely it extinguishes and leaves just like charred damage.
Sounds good. So this column of fire swirls around this creature and it lets out a
Dake fried
horrific,
chicken.
rapturous shrieking noise. And when the
Just
fire
leaning
dies
into the
down,
fried
you see that
chicken.
it's thoroughly charred, burnt chicken, and you see that you've actually burnt away a few flecks of its hide. You've chipped away at its armor class. From this fiery vortex, which is gonna bring it down by 1. So
I know.
the other
We've talked about this before.
creature,
I
the
actually
one that
love
just took an
combat.
interest
Doesn't
in you
matter
was
what
attacking
system.
Manaya first,
And I'm
let's
like
say.
finding myself getting like, I'm like, yeah, no,
Very
yeah,
crispy, dodges, darts
armor
out of the way
class, yeah.
for the chromatic fire orb.
Did I
But
just
let's say
adjudicate that on the
because it
spot,
was
or did
very
I set
close
that
to
up
hitting its armor
earlier?
class, the fire for like
There's a
momentary
first
time you
said it.
sparks.
I think
forms
so,
like a
yeah,
line
because
in
I
front of
think,
it, and it jumps back.
What was
backward
happening
and
for
becomes a
me
bit,
in that moment was I was
dazed
realizing that
from this
these
wall
chickens
of
were actually really
flame.
hard to hit.
And it's gonna
So
take
I
a-
was like,
a
okay, let
minus
me
2
do this
penalty
for
to its
y'all.
next
I was like,
attack roll
brought down their AC.
from these flames.
That's helpful.
Was that one not within melee range of me?
It is. Yeah, it is.
So if it jumps backwards, is there an opportunity for attack there?
Okay, I will either let you. Okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow you to take the
Help me sing.
reaction to make an opportunity
I'll
attack,
allow
but
it.
That means
I'll
you
allow
have to
it.
also give it a -2 penalty. In that case.
So never mind. I'll leave it that then. That's
Sounds
No, the
good.
-2 is
Great,
good.
is that
The
your turn?
-2 is a
Yeah.
really good choice. Yeah,
Yep.
it's good.
Next
It's
is
good.
Oko.
Oh, and then yeah, never mind. Yep, my turn.
Great, sounds good. You're gonna stay in place. Next is Oko with Dewey on deck.
I really wanted to move
The on
away,
deck
but
is
I
really
couldn't.
cute.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to let you all, to
Snap
give you all a
out of
chance to
their
think about your turn and
reprieve.
like flag that you would go next.
Jostled by Manaya's shout and then by her axe cleaving down into the ground. And Oka is going to start shouting mostly to the people who are just kind of like on the dais. They're going to shout like,
Dais.
The dais.
"What the hell do you think you're doing? Get the fuck out of here!"
Okay.
To
Fair,
try to, like,
okay.
get
Straight to the point. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
blunt.
because
Because
and they
early acting
Oka
scene. We
is
could-
going
we could
to
skip
run
past
forward
this.
as well.
No, we're not going to because we had to sit through
and they're
early
going to
acting Connie.
activate, their crimson right on
Oh my god, you're
their
Crimson
dowel blade,
right.
and kind of taking it out of their sheath and letting it draw kind of like across their hip.
Not my
Take
cursor
it
going
out, and I'll take
everywhere.
2 points of damage there.
Sounds good. Why don't you tell us about what Oka's subclass is?
So Connie went ahead and made me a homebrew subclass for the Blood Hunter class because I didn't really like any of the other ones. They didn't feel Monster
Sorry, man.
Hunter.
Apologies.
So
it's not your fault.
Their subclass is a what did we call it? A bonded bloodletting.
Bonded bloodletting. Yeah.
Yeah, Connie actually made me
bloodletting.
2 homebrew
did.
So
Blood Hunter
with
subclasses
that,
because I'm very needy and
in-
I just
No, I love doing it. I love doing it. I think we
Pete,
released
do you wanna tell
Bonded
us a little bit
Bloodletting on
about your
Patreon
subclass?
a
I
while
realized we
back.
forgot to mention.
Yeah.
I don't have a subclass, or like you mean within the sorcerer?
See,
I'm
it's so funny.
draconic ancestry.
I forget
That's where
sometimes.
my
This is
magic
my
comes from.
second D&D
Draconic
campaign ever.
And
Yeah.
Oka, all right, what do you
How
do?
little I knew about the mechanics still at this point.
Yeah. Because we had a home game with Connie
Oka's
before
gonna-
this,
they're
but
gonna
we
did.
only
Yep.
did like
but they're also gonna go into
did
their
like
house
6 or 7.
and grab a
maybe
piece of
10.
jerky.
I don't, like
yeah.
10-ish.
We had like
running
10.
forward,
I think we had like
like,
10
up onto
sessions.
the
10,
dais,
Yeah,
they're
10 to
gonna
12
You've played
sessions. Yeah.
D&D
trying to
10
get
times
Nilo and
before
Milo's
this.
attention.
Yeah.
Milo and Milo.
And that was what was I?
Yes.
A paladin. So like
the dogs.
Yeah,
now I'm
super
playing a
good.
completely different class.
they're
I'm
gonna-
still figuring out so much in this first few episodes.
Yeah.
Like,
I think all of us were really.
get! And they're gonna throw the jerky at the chickens, like at the chicken.
Oh yeah.
You
Can we
fed
have
The
the
them.
drakes
I-
attack them.
The drakes into attacking the
Attacking it?
chicken.
Sounds good. So that you're going to use your turn to try to make the drakes do your bidding for you as you run up to the basin.
Will it take my turn?
If it's successful, and they
Already
attack
pulling
you,
the I'm
then
cute
Here
card.
it
Okay,
It's my favorite
I'm
thing to
fine
do.
with that.
see if it's successful first. Okay, so why don't you roll like a animal handling check for me? With advantage, let's say, because you're using jerky.
I really will just
They
do
did
this at
respond
Connie
well to
and hope
jerky.
that I
Yeah,
get what I
no,
want.
literally.
Oh,
Usually
natural
works.
20.
Okay.
Hey, good for
That's
past
awesome.
me.
A natural 20. I will give them advantage on their attacks against the chickens. So they both go, like they go, they like stand up, they like sit up straight. And as you throw
Amazing
jerky at the
dog.
chickens,
Oka,
they each
Paragon
of
of
them
Sen,
leap
being able to,
majestically
like,
over the bathtub, and
like,
they
interface
try to
with
go
the
for the jerky,
drakes is actually
and in the
really cute.
process start
Yeah, it
biting
is.
the chickens. So let's see what that does.
There's so many little details in the first arc that like
Yeah, both of them hit.
looking back with the
and
context of everything
each
's, you're like,
chicken,
man,
let's say, is
That
the
was
going
fact that we
to
didn't
take
know anything. There's so
We
much
didn't
cool
know
overlap.
anything.
6 points of piercing damage.
It's really cool.
As the drakes like chomp down very hard into the hide of each chicken. 6 points. Let's see.
This was back when I was like,
The one that
this was back when I was like
is
very
not
methodically
looking
and
so
like
hot.
by the books, like
Probably one
raw
or two
But by
tracking
your
HP.
books.
could take
Yeah,
it
by
out.
my books, and I've developed better systems for handling combat since then.
Yeah,
especially
the one
in
that's
D&D.
charred now has like
The biggest
deep puncture
change being not
from
playing
scar
D&D
to biting
and
into
having to
nice
deal with that
twisted
combat
flesh.
system anymore.
And the other one just lets out a and like scrabbles against the guard drake's mouth, and then both drakes sort of like let go of these chickens. Okay, you can still say, and move if you want. You're now within melee of the chickens and within range of the puss chain thing.
Chain.
Okay, in range of the puss.
Oh my god! You guys still you pussy like a champ.
Don't say it like
I
that.
other actions that I can take.
We had to end the session because I couldn't keep going. I was laughing too hard.
Yeah.
That's why and how we ended. Could not keep
yelling
playing.
for
It
other
was so
Since the
funny.
rest of this is combat, do we
good.
want to skip forward a little bit
Next
to
one's going
like
be
toward the end
Dewey,
of combat?
and that is
Sure.
going to be the end of the order.
Yeah,
We'll go
that's
back
fine.
to the top.
Okay,
with,
let's do it.
Manaya.
This
This
really
is
is
straight-
like a
It's just a
9
full
to 3
on.
and a
It's like
half
30
hour.
minutes.
Yeah, it
yeah.
dies. How do you want?
I want to
and
see
this
how
verbal
he kills the
because my-
chicken.
Oh.
The mouths, almost as if it's like looking and like try to find a mouth that Oka isn't in, and then just
Oh right, because
fly
you're
in
excited.
and just go wherever it's
Dove into
Rude ass behavior.
Sounds good.
My
Yeah,
characters
no
be going
behavior.
inside
This
monsters.
monstrous creature.
Imagine
into
having
flames
a
and
ball of energy to throw at a thing,
erupts
but you
into
got to
fire,
make
and
sure your
also
friend
you can-
isn't
Isn't
in one of the
inside.
holes.
You get spit
Yep.
out.
Willingly.
Okay, you
On
get
purpose.
regurgitated by one of the mouths. You're like hacking and
Seemed like
slashing
such a
and
good
cursing
idea at the
probably
time.
on your way out of its body, and this thing lets out a as it like turns and it begins it gets charred from the inside out, and then it
Yeah, I was doing something really fucked up inside of it
squelches onto
too.
the ground, and
I think you were using like
it
radiant
seems to
damage or
vibrate.
something.
It lets out an ungodly screech, and it loses
Which
its structural
I didn't know it at the
integrity,
time,
right? And it
but was quite
splashes
effective.
onto the ground in a pile of a rotting, acrid flesh and chains.
You look so proud of yourself. You look so
Whatever
fucking
thing
proud of
shooting
yourself.
teeth doesn't keep shooting teeth from you at you.
Also,
darkness.
we're only $30 away
You've
from
won.
hitting
Are we?
from hitting $100 for
You
Dee
have
Dee's
won.
house for this stream, which I think would be
Is
lovely.
anyone gonna try to stay on
We hit
table?
we hit
Yeah.
a hundo for
Okay,
tonight,
but here's the thing.
and that gives us
At
like
least-
100,
My
only
character
150
sheet.
for
And I posted
Saturday.
this in chat
I
earlier.
think that would be really
And-
nice.
If anyone has the
for the
spare
stars.
funds,
Endurance.
yeah.
Half orc
For the
trait.
stars.
If I would go to 1 HP or to 0 HP, go to 1 instead.
Oh, I can't believe you almost
You
killed
You
Maya.
forgot.
Oh my gosh,
You
yeah.
forgot. But let's say your relentless
Well, I do end up
endurance-
killing
your relentless endurance can
Arc
kick in,
one,
right?
kind of.
Let's
Okay.
say. You see this
You wake up.
strange mirage, and then you suddenly feel like
Max has always been so fucking
reinvigorated
funny.
as you like pull
What did Max
yourself
say?
back into your body, and you.
I imagine it
Something
just
really-
like
It was a
collapsed
little,
and,
it was a
like,
sweet little.
all over me,
A little quip.
and then
Yeah.
everyone's looking on like, and then from the goop, this 7.5-foot tall being.
Did Dewey have a moment of
rises up.
like dying and being reborn? Because like
Wipes out some bile
Oka
from
and
her
Manai had
eyes
their moments, and
and
V
goes,
almost like got disintegrated
"My
into
mom, what the
nothing.
bloody
Oh
hell?
my god,
you-
yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And you.
Did
Did
Dewey
we ever have
ever
that kind
come
of moment?
close to death?
Well,
Scanning
Not a
100
spoiler,
and
but-
something.
I know, I'm
episodes.
like episodes. I'm not trying to
Well,
think.
it's just
scan to
like,
the end a little bit.
And just kind of rolls gently to a stop against.
He fought the
Manai's
myriad,
Okay.
but I don't think it was like almost to
Battered,
the death.
bloodied, puss-covered, and bruised.
Oh, hold on.
The
I want to see
four of
this.
you have emerged
Battered,
victorious.
bloodied, puss covered
And
in bruise.
these
We hit 100.
people, right?
Oh my god, thank
sort of
you!
stare at
Yay!
you.
Oh my goodness! Yay!
There's a moment of
Thank you
silence.
so
and
much.
you
That
hear
means so much.
unmistakable wailing
Translator.
of a newborn infant.
Yay! Thank you all. A newborn infant.
And you see the mother is cradling this bloodied kind of a dragon-like creature, like baby.
Creature.
Part dragonborn, part elf.
Creature.
A scale,
Why did I say
heavily scaled elf.
It's showing a lot about your
Purpose isn't
inherent
a
biases
dragon-like
towards
creature, and I
babies.
was like, is this a creature?
Copper scales.
Or is this a
And she's, like,
baby?
cradling
It's-
this baby to her chest. And you see this half-elf woman, Manai, that you hallucinated turning into a dragon, slowly lower.
Yep, right. Manaya hallucinated Tomba turning into a dragon. I was setting all that shit up.
But keeps an eye on him.
That's
and
wild,
looks at
Connie.
the four of you and says, "You saved us."
Oka spits.
Okay?
I remember you spitting.
Something well-behaved
I'm
princes
going to
rarely
try
make
to do a
histories.
really dramatic landing, but obviously, like these are not great wings.
Uh-huh.
But
And as you land, as you slowly land, your wings disappear,
Oh no.
and you
Oh, it's so sad.
fall into the ground. And Oka, your
I
body
thought I got to keep them.
no longer feels brittle. Like all of the chipped.
Oh right,
edges of
okay, you
your
got
skin and
brittled.
bone
Your
become-
bones
Yeah.
got brittled.
Whoa. Brittle be
Whoa,
upon you.
brittle bone
lasted.
be upon ye.
Look, says this half elf. I'm.
Manaya takes off her bloody trench coat and walks over to the woman carrying her newborn,
Mhm.
looks at the newborn and looks at the two teenagers and asks,
Oh.
"How are they?"
Something. The birth of
It's
it all.
the
start.
fearful who responds.
Yeah.
Says, "They're just fine. Thanks to you. I'm." He pauses and looks at the half-elf woman who just nods. And this fearbook says, My name is Kaken. This," and he gestures to the Kenku boy. "This is
We're all
YE."
writing.
Yeah,
and
all of
gestures
us
to the
taking our
halfling girl.
notes so
This is
dutifully.
how
I
It was
know,
so
look
cute.
at you all.
Gestures to the shaved head human, Jochi. gestures to the dragonborn woman who just gave birth, Najwa.
Najwa.
And this is our High Steward, Tamba.
A pleasure
Yes.
to meet you all. Although I would have preferred cleaner circumstances.
Yes, but the goddess often has different plans in store for us.
Right, and they just
Okay, did
worship
you wanna say
Nectus,
something?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe as whoever is speaking says the word goddess, Oka like stumbles up, like seeming to remember something, and they're gonna run and make a beeline for the like the caved-in explosion of the
shrine
butte.
Of the butte.
They're
Okay.
gonna look outside.
Okay.
Are
Oka,
the stars still gone?
as you run to the entrance of this
Are the
explosion,
stars still gone?
you
Oh,
see, yes, the stars are inexplicably gone, and the land is completely plunged into impregnable shadow. You see distant fires, pinpricks of light in this otherwise blanket of darkness, and you hear on the wind the snarling and howling of strange monsters ringing across the flat plateaus of the Northern Republic of Talmud. The stars are gone. The gods are gone.
Connie, I need you. Listen. My vision. I need you to clip that moment where you say the stars are gone, the gods are gone, and I need you to like. This is an AMV. This is a what do they call it now? Fan cams. This is a fan cam in my head. Here you go. The stars are gone, and then take us through like a fan cam cut of the rest of the series. You know?
Oh, that's so sweet. That I love your vision. I'm gonna do that because I've been wanting to release a fan cam for each show every week. Maybe at the end of every week. Maybe that could be like the Sunday surprise. You know, because we don't have any programming on Sundays. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
We can end there. Yeah?
I like that.
On this mystery. Yeah?
Yeah.
This cliffhanger. Still don't know what to do with Doll,
I think our
etc.
brains are
Connie's
still like
first cliffhanger.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that was
Connie's
our pilot
first
episode. Y'all did such an amazing
did
job,
it.
and everyone,
We
thank
did
you
a podcast.
so much for
did it.
watching.
We
us.
did it, y'all. Watching us.
I know that battle went on for a while. I did
Thank you all so
allocate
much
like an
for
hour to
watching
it,
us.
but it's still a lot to ask for an audience. To ask of an audience to sit through an hour-long battle. So thank you so much for everyone who tuned in. Thank you so much to everyone who stayed here, like from the jump, to everyone who came and had to leave, everyone who like jumped in, whatever.
We didn't know what
super
raids were
appreciate
yet.
each and every
Yeah,
one of
we
you.
didn't know what raids were.
Our next episode is going to air in 2 weeks.
Right,
so
this one we were
Saturday
streaming
after
once every 2
next,
weeks.
July 11th. Same time, same place, right?
Okay. What's 14 days
And
before July
quick
11th?
special shout out to
June.
Oh crap! What's your Twitch name? Vinatu and Brukada Abito,
Yes.
our
Yes.
amazing
Hold on.
mods,
Our incredible
who have
mods.
been
27th.
messing
June
with
27th.
Nightbot and trying
June
to
27th
fix it
is
so
the
that
official
you can
anniversary
Be excited in chat.
of-
That's
alongside
Friday.
us
That's the
and
last
not get
Friday of
muted.
June for this month.
Yeah,
So
I'm very new to Twitch and all this Nightbot thing, so I appreciate having my hand held
this Nightbot
through
thing.
All this Nightbot
I want to
thing.
give a shout out to my bed
How
sheet
far we've come.
that I'm using as a screen behind me.
Truly have far come. Except
And
I was having
again,
to set up
everyone who
Nightbot
tuned in,
again
thank
today.
You so much. Yes, Devin.
One last thing we forgot to do at the
Yeah,
beginning
June
of the stream.
27th was a Saturday.
We are supposed to have
2020.
one more person with us.
Mm.
Who
Oh,
unfortunately could not participate with us.
Dana. Oh,
Do I say your name?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Dana if you're watching, or if you're
Truly
watching.
shout out.
Right, yeah,
the
Dana.
current
She-
shout out to
she had
Dana.
to-
YouTube afterward
Shout out
or
to Dana.
listening.
She's a real one.
We love you and we wish we could be here.
Like-
We're
Walking
staying safe,
encyclopedia of
taking
D&D
care of
Yes.
yourself.
information.
Yeah.
Older trans woman who like
Yeah, we love
knows
you, Dana.
so
We love
much
you,
about the
Dana.
history of the
This
hobby
world wouldn't have
and
been
like
possible without you. All
I mean,
of our-
literally
She helped
lived
us.
I feel
through
like
the
so many of
history.
my
literally lived
choices
through the like
and,
was in the birthplace of
like,
D&D,
choices
right?
about what
Like
this world
born and
could
raised
be
Midwest.
Really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like your hand is here
And
the
I mean, you still
world
put
with us.
Mama Lightning in the campaign.
Yes, I did. She was her PC was old Mama Lightning.
Yeah, Mama
So,
Lightning is
does
going to be a
anyone else have
PC in the
anything they
campaign.
wanna
Mama Lightning. Yeah.
Do you just want to go around again and maybe like say
And I
who
made her
we
an
are,
NPC to honor
very
Dana.
quickly maybe plug our socials? I can start.
I thought
so
it was
I'm
really
Connie.
sweet.
I
No,
am
she's a Paragon
Daddy
after all.
Issues on Tumblr.
Yeah, definitely.
and on
I
Twitch,
wanted to keep
though I
that.
don't really stream on Twitch through D and Daddy
Which
Issues that much.
we met
I
for the
am
first
by
time when
Connie
V
Chong,
teleported through
on
the floor
Twitter.
into
My
the
pronouns are they,
room
Yeah.
below, and
Into
there's
old
old lady. I was
Thank
like,
you for tuning in.
wait
So
a
excited. I'm
second.
the
Is
producer
that
behind
this
this
old
GM,
lady we know?
and I'm so
And
excited
then
to
she
keep growing this
zapped you.
community and growing this
She
live
zapped
stream
ya.
and seeing where we go.
You to
Got
boss
my
me.
blood.
We
Lightning.
played like a few false starts.
Oh,
I
neat.
think.
Yes.
Cool. My name
We
is
did a
Katie.
practice
I use
one
Rerun
shot, and then yeah, we
pronouns.
had like the false
I play
start.
Oka.
Yeah, because it was
I
going to
drew
be a
the arts, the official
podcast,
character
and
art,
then
that
It
you
was,
can
and then I
see
tried
on
editing
layout
it, and I
here,
went, "This
and you can
fucking
find
sucks,"
more
and I
of
hate
that
editing
or
audio.
picture
I'm
me if
never
you're
doing
into
that. So we made it a stream.
At
And Dana actually had to pull
hi,
out like
dash
literally last
sharp,
minute, like
at tumblr.com
like a
or
month
at,
before or something. Like
hi,
I had
Charlotte,
planned the
Twitter.
campaign with like
yeah.
a week. Actually, yeah, no, I think you're right. But you never
Yes.
ended up making
I don't
art
know
for
where
her,
you
did
are.
you?
In
Or
the
did you?
No,
layout.
I did.
You did. You literally made art for Old Mama. No, you're right.
Yeah,
You
I've
did.
never
You made
seen
character
Old
art.
Mama
Yeah.
Lightning.
Really?
There.
And yeah,
I have
don't
it.
think you've
It's
ever
on my
shown it.
iPad.
You should post that somewhere.
I should for our anniversary.
Yeah, you totally should. Actually, that's very.
Like-
That's a cute
Dewey
Easter egg.
Crook?
No, I had another ad. So
I want to
yeah.
thank the person who
Yes,
I don't
yes.
have their username on hand. I feel bad. Who drew the fan art already?
Ooh, tube.
Dewey?
Oh no.
It's so good. You can find.
Oh,
me
folks
on
are donating money
Instagram
on YouTube to
at
us.
Starchmonger.
Okay, I see.
Um,
Oh, people on YouTube.
Yeah.
You all are amazing. Okay,
Really?
I see all the donations. I'm so sorry. There is a
My
separate
name is
donation
Evan. I
link,
use
but that's
different
okay.
pronouns.
All the
I
money
say
you've given us,
my
like
YEAR
I can
half-orc,
very easily
7.5
port that over
foot,
from our coffers,
half-orc
over
bio-covered
to
fighter.
the money that we're giving to Dee Dee's house. So any donations
I
that you
don't
gave
have
to
any
us
social
through
medias
YouTube
or
for this
anything to
stream,
plug.
I will
I'm
absolutely make sure it
blank
goes toward
above my
Dee
face
Dee's
here.
house. So thank
Whoa!
you.
But
We got a $100 donation
stay
over on
tuned
YouTube, which
in
brings
the
us. I
coming
think that is we're
months
at
or
our goal for
possibly
tonight.
years.
Which is
Oh my god!
Yeah, that
too!
was
Oh my god, thank you so much! I need to be keeping my eye on YouTube more. You guys all rock! I'm so sorry! I'm sorry I got so interested in our conversation that I forgot to check chat. Thank you so much for the flag in the Twitch chat, and thank you all so much. You too! You all are amazing! I will absolutely make sure to pin our actual donation link next time, so this doesn't happen again. But it's so deeply appreciated, and we will absolutely make sure that your giving goes to the right place. Thank you! Y'all are so much translators! Let's go! Translators! Yes! Puppy Chow!
Thank you.
Scarlet
that's it,
Rain!
folks.
Oh my god, it's like
Tune in in 2
highlighted.
weeks, July
Oh
11th,
my goodness.
3 p.m. CDT.
You all are amazing.
Follow us
Thank you.
on Twitter, Transplanar RPG, YouTube.
Oh my
Transplanar
goodness.
RPG,
Wait, I feel like there's
Instagram,
even,
everything
there's
is
even more.
Transplanar
Okay,
RPG.
more.
You'll find us there.
I think we have hit
and
maybe
yeah,
over
why don't we the cast mute and right so we can have a cute little
Let me
text for
let me
watching
post
screen.
the proper
Roll out,
dono link here.
and we will see you in 2 weeks. Please keep in
I will
touch. Join our
pin this
Discord
even.
server.
That's
It will be
yes.
open for 19 minutes.
Yes,
after
but
this-
thank you all
this
so
stream
much.
ends.
Yeah, that's
I think it's already
you all
closed
are
out.
incredible. Thank
But
you.
we can try to fix
shit
that
my
later.
players
And goodbye.
say?
We love you guys.
I forgot
Oh yeah,
about
shit, my
that.
players say.
Right.
Right.
Hey, you can't just
Me trying to do short form.
Hey, you can't just You boo me?
I
I'm
did
sorry,
boo
the
you.
dice. I do not control the die. roll investigation on the carrots.
Elden Ring.
What did you get, Oka?
Oh, I got a 21.
Holy sh!
Okay, now we're looking at shit my
Wait,
players
we scored
say.
already? Holy
Sorry.
shit,
Wait, this is like the
I was
post
taking
credits.
this- Yeah.
Oh, you have? Oh, okay, taking us away. Okay, no worries.
Oh no, I mean, I took us away.
Oh.
from-
Cow in the
You seriously
boulders.
count the distance. No, I
Shit
don't
cow.
want that to be the
We're not
first
live.
thing.
Birth of the shit
No,
cat.
Connie, we're live. I just took us away from the premiere episode to watch shit my players say.
Wait, it's the pussy.
All of its mouths and it's very pussy, lesions on its body, and it's gonna spray bile.
I look up
Max
like,
cracking
but I
first is the funniest part of that for me.
Why does this have 1,000
I did not
views?
even-
because it should have more.
It
It should
should.
have
It should have
100,000
1,000
views.
views.
It's gonna spray bile.
This is before short form was even dominant. Really.
Oh yeah,
Well, I mean,
YouTube Shorts now. That would have blown up.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna I'm gonna lick my butthole.
I should make these into YouTube shorts.
Cat right on its leg.
My
You should, yeah.
butthole.
Look
These
at
are
it.
perfect YouTube Shorts.
I thought that was your friend. Someone else try it.
Not me, pants.
You commit to it. So,
I'm getting in character.
The thing is, I absolutely lifted my leg.
I know you did.
Absolutely
it was very
lifted my
evident
leg.
you were really committing to the bit.
Oh my goodness! I see in YouTube that the total donation on YouTube is $2.50.
Oh,
That's wild.
Oh my god, no!
That's wild.
I need to pause this. Okay, not my accent attempt. Yeah, and on total we have 110 on Twitch and 250 on YouTube. That is $360.
That's 360 days
Let's
to
go.
revolve around the earth.
That's right.
That's not how long a
It's
year.
365.
there's plus 5. Who's
Yeah,
gonna
we're gonna
donate
say- we're gonna say
5 right now
five.
for $1
Who's got
a day?
$5 to make me right?
Oh my god, you all are incredible. I'm so glad we're not watching this particular because I attempt to do an I think like a French accent or something. Thank you all so much. You all are amazing. This was such a fun event. I love doing director's cut reruns, and it was so nice to get some of like the deep character lore and world lore and like the banter lore and table lore. That was wonderful. This was our first ever event for our 5-year streamiversary, channelversary. As you all know, we'll be celebrating our 5-year channelversary throughout the month of June. We have special streams every Wednesday night and every Saturday night at 5 p.m. Pacific or 8 p.m. US Eastern Time. That's our usual stream time for Transplanar Saturdays. Our next event is this coming. Did we get $5? Yes, thank you, Jasmine, on the YouTube. Make it
I love being right.
Thank you, Jasmine. Now we have that. See, say your thing.
What? Oh,
The thing you
360.
just said. The thing you just said 2 minutes
What do
ago.
you mean? What?
I thought you were gonna ask me to do a French accent.
No. Okay, say it, but now with a French accent. C.exe is broken.
See, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Are you gonna say anything?
Thank you for the donos.
Cat, y'all broke C.
I'm really tired, but I'm happy. I'm tired and happy.
Thank you, C.
Just like I am on 365 days of Transplanar RPG. Yay!
Yay!
I got that actually.
Thank you all. Our next event is this Saturday, June 7th at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time. That is 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It is going to be an actual play, one shot of a Hounds reunion stream called The Hounds of Mercy versus Andake's Biggest Hole. Why is it called that? Oh! Well, it's because the Hounds of Mercy reunite after the events of the second Stranger, Arc 8, Episode 8. One last time they reunite, maybe not one last time, but they do reunite this time in order to do a classic Hounds mission. Save their hapless boss, Mercy, who's gone missing yet again. But this time she's gone missing in Andake's biggest hole, the Euclid Chasm.
Let's
That's
go,
right.
hole hunters. Let's
going-
go, hole hunters.
We're hole hunting, baby! I'm honestly really excited for this stream. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be playing Daggerheart instead of D&D.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of fun donation incentives, especially. And like the one donation incentive I'm really excited about is going to be Connie releases a whole abomination. An abomination is going to go into that hole. Oh, we're going to see. No, I'm yellow carding myself. Yeah, there's gonna be fun incentives for that, so we definitely want to tune in for that. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a ton of fun. And after the second Stranger week, next week we're gearing up for First Blood week. Godkiller First Blood. Woo! We're gonna rewatch the premiere stream of episodes 1 and 2 of Godkiller First Blood next Wednesday, June 11th, at the same time as this. That is 8 p.m. US Eastern Time. And then we're gonna have a Transplanar community stream trivia night next Saturday. That is June 14th at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time, where you, as the audience, you can play trivia with us. And you can see how you can rank. You can like join the game and like, you know, play and see how you rank against other people. It was really funny because the last time we played trivia, I believe it was a fan who won over cast members. I believe we got beat by a community member.
Yes.
And it's a
Multiple
ton of fun. Yes. And there's going to be special bonus points for First Blood to celebrate First Blood week. So brush up on your First Blood trivia to get an edge over the competition. And of course, after that, we're going to be celebrating the Chaos Protocol with a rerun of the premiere on Wednesday, June 18th at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, followed by Saturday, June 21st at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, a very special, for the first time ever, Sam Star show running a Demigods one-shot with an all-black, all-trans cast. And I am so excited for Sam's showrunner, producer, GM on stream debut on Transplaner. Please especially show up and show out for that one. It's also a special Juneteenth stream to celebrate Juneteenth on that Saturday. So it's going to be especially special for us. And for the last week of our channelversary, we're going to break the rules a little bit. Remember how I said we only have one stream that week? That's not true. For our last week of June, we are streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, rerunning all of the episodes of Last Hope, because this is also our 1 year anniversary of God Killer Last Hope coming out. Can you believe it? Like a whole 6 months have passed since we did our first ever in-studio actual play. That is wild to me. So we're going to celebrate that show in style.
Connie, a full year, 12 months. That's what a year is.
I misspoke. I'm so sorry. A full 12 months. A full 1 year.
A full 6 months, aka
a
1 year.
12 months, aka 1 year, not 6 months. Oh my god, my brain is blown. And then that Saturday, we have something very special for our final Saturday of our channelversary, June 28th at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We are debuting for the first time worldwide, globally, in the history of time, a God Killer multiplayer world building playtest. I will have mechanics ready and players, God Killers, at my table to build a cradle together from scratch, using our brand new build your own, make your own cradle mechanics that will be in the full game, published by Evil Hat Productions. So if you want to get a sneak preview of what those mechanics are like, go to that stream. And anyone who will be getting actual PDFs in hand of sneak peeks and early access stuff will be our paid patrons. So definitely sub to our Patreon because we are releasing exclusive patron-only rewards throughout this entire month as well. And a list of all of those rewards are available on a public post on our Patreon that you get to see if you're a free member. Literally doesn't cost you anything, just like sign up for an account. And of course, final thing, throughout this month, we will be releasing themed prompts every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And these themed prompts relate to the show of each week in question. What are these themed prompts for? They're for you. That's right. You watching this. If you are inspired by our work in any way, shape, or form, if you would like to share your creativity and your artistry with our community, you can submit any number of fan works pertaining to any number of these themed prompts, or submit past fan work that doesn't have to be related to these themed prompts. We just want these prompts to spark creativity. C is putting that link in the Twitch chat, and if you don't mind dropping that in the YouTube chat as well, C, that would be lovely. I don't know if you actually are, but I'm making you do it now.
Did you make a command for it?
Exclamation point zine in Twitch.
Great. Yes,
so why is it called exclamation point zine? Because at the end of this month, we are collecting all of the fan works submitted to that specific portal. It is bit.ly/transplanerzine. Again, bit.ly/transplanerzine. We're collecting all of the works submitted and we are publishing them in a community made zine. All we're gonna do is like do some layout and like arrange the stuff, but everyone's gonna be credited and all of the proceeds will go toward mutual aid and liberation. So every single cent of that will be going toward crowdfunding purposes for people in our community and or causes toward collective solidarity and liberation. So it will definitely be available at a pay what you want price on my itch, and we're also going to be looking into funding a print run for it, hopefully, and seeing if we're going to be able to partner with any publishers who might want to take that on pro gratis. But yeah, all of these amazing events, all of these amazing streams, all of these incredible initiatives, and every week, all of the money we're raising is going toward charity, toward mutual aid, toward liberation of some cause. This week, we're raising funds for Dee Dee's house, as you all know. And
thank you for tuning in because this helps us with our push to partner. Tuning in, donating, submitting to the zine, right? Showing that there's fan support for this, that there's fan creativity and originality, posting about this, celebrating our anniversary in any way, shape, or form. All of this helps us in our path toward partner because it's been 5 years, y'all. It's been 5 years, and that purple check mark, we're gunning for you. We're gunning for you, purple partner check mark! And I believe that's all of the outro announcements. Let's do a quick round of outros. I'm Connie Chung, pronouns they, he, and she. I'm your GM, showrunner, and for half of the stream, producer extraordinaire. You can find me and support me by finding and supporting Transplaner. And I'm also by Connie Chung on TikTok and on Blue Sky. I'm going to pass things over to Erica.
Hi, everybody. I'm Erica. I played V, and I stream here on Twitch at Erica Please, PLZ. And you can find me on Blue Sky, also at Erica Please. And then after that, things get complicated because old names have old accounts. But just find me on Blue Sky and here on Twitch. I will pass it on to C.
Hello, I'm C. I use they, them pronouns, and you can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at C Plays RPG. Specifically, you can most of the time find me on Transplaner, and I just want to take a quick moment to say that two things that I like doing on Transplaner, the fan art reel and merch. They're like some of my favorite tasks to do. So if you, viewer of past, present, or future, have ever made Transplaner fan art, please do submit it to the zine. I would love to see it. Your oldest works from 5 years ago to the one that you doodled during this episode. I'd love to see it. Please submit it. Even, kill the cop in your head, and that does include your self-criticism and the person who tells you that your art's not good enough. I would love to see it. If you'd like to submit it, you always can. Please do to the zine. And also, you can get excited for all the stuff that me and our good friend Max of Valiant Doran Husband Fane have been working on in our merch store coming up. Did somebody say God Killer merch? Did somebody say?
Yup. It's good, y'all. It's really fucking good, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Patrons
really,
get a sneak peek.
Really good, and I'm really excited about it. So those are my two things that I want to say. That's all. Submit to the zine.
Amazing. Yes, submit to the zine. Like, again, kill the cop in your head. Like, don't if you're insecure about it, like, if that's the reason why you're not submitting, right? Because I understand if you have, like, multiple reasons for not submitting. But if the main or only reason for not submitting to the zine is you feel like it's not good enough, or, like, you're insecure about, like, how it might be perceived, you're like, oh, other people's art is so much better. No! Listen to me now. Anytime anyone makes anything for Transplaner, Chaos, Stranger, Godkiller, an angel gets his wings, and that angel is called Connie Chong. So, give me more wings. Let me become an eldritch abomination, and you can do it by submitting your work. Let me put you gently back down. Okay, now you're kind of crooked, but that's okay. We're all queer here. I love you. Please submit. I want to see your art. Okay, that's all. I should probably outro us, huh? Okay, thank you all so much for tuning in. This was an amazing rewatch, amazing rerun. Erica C, thank you so much for being here and for lending your time. Erica, especially from the jump. Like, it was so much fun to yap with you again. It's been so long since we've been on a stream together. Way too long. We've got to make something like this happen again. And in the meantime, we're going to be rating someone on Twitch. Someone really awesome, no doubt. I believe there are quite a few awesome people right now. So I'll let you as a producer kind of like throw the love over to someone. Use the rate message in chat. Tell them about the Channelversary month that we've been celebrating, and then send them some Transplaner community love. That would mean the world to me. All right. We love you all so much. Stay tuned for our next stream this Saturday. And Spisho Pisho.